Looks like our path to mortality is by finding a witch. Hi, I'm Nick, and this is Planescape Torment here on Retro Games with Nick. Welcome back, everybody, to our continued playthrough of Planescape Torment. A game that I'm enjoying, but that is maybe getting a little long in the tooth. I definitely feel like future playthroughs of JRPGs or CRPGs, we might split in like 2 to 3 parts. Like, I think going more than 5-6 weeks in a row at some point, I kind of lose interest in the game. It just, it feels like it's moving a little too slow and I kind of want to move on to the next thing. So we're going to keep pushing Torment until we finish it. Hopefully 3 more episodes, I think, more or less. But future RPGs, I'm going to probably split up in a couple parts. Alright, let's keep going. So we were in this brothel for the mind, talking to a whole bunch of courtesans and the like. So let's just keep investigating, I guess. We talk to you, right? Well met, good sir. I'm Nenny. And how are you this fine oh, we met before. Nenny giggles and smiles gleefully at you. I'm sorry, I knew you looked familiar though. Okay. So we met her already, let's see. So we're keeping the Dustman costume on us for now, just because we think it might be useful. We need to go talk to a man named Merryman, who's in the Civic Festhall, to help this Deionarra woman. We need to pretend to be a suitor of Juliet, one of the prostitutes in the brothel of Slating intellectual lusts, which are prostitutes of the mind, not of the flesh, to make him a little jealous, who's also in the Civic Festhall. Medeth, I think I'm kind of over it at this time. I mean, if we really want to respec and be like a mage, we could do it, but I think I'll probably just stick with fighter for the nameless one at this point. These are our long-running quests. Ingress, the woman who doesn't cross any kind of opening for fear there is a door. The decanter of endless water for the speaking head in the catacombs. I remember we did learn that somebody in the Civic Festhall could help with Reekwind's curse of stench. Yeah, you could find him, so it's Jumble Murdersense. And so we could find him in the Civic Festhall too. So everything is really pointing us towards the Civic Festhall, including the hag Ravel Puzzlewell, who's the one who has basically stolen our mortality, and that's why we just keep being reborn every time we die. But before we do that again, let's just wrap up the brothel, sort of see what's up. Alright, Echo, the dolphin. The striking young woman has skin the color of burnished copper. The translucent white dress, held precariously by golden clasps, is draped carefully over her shapely form. Greetings. The woman nods and smiles briefly. The scent of her hair, slowly perfumed, fills your nostrils. I have some questions. She nods. Who are you? She smiles and curtsies, but offers no response. Can you speak? She shakes her head and smiles sadly at you.
Updated my journal.
Morte, I love this shit already. Can you write then or pantomime? She pouts, shaking her head. May I ask why you can't communicate? She sighs softly and nods. I guess I can ask her, but how is she gonna tell me? Can you tell me about this place? She looks at you and raises an eyebrow. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? Her eyes flash and she smiles. She nods at you. What? What do you know of her?
Updated my journal.
She simply looks at you. Alright. Anything in here? Still some copper. Get our girl out. And then it's 2.
Why not? Got it.
Alright.
All right.
Just an earring there. I'm not gonna steal that. Yeah, ooh, there's a handkerchief. Yeah, it's fine. We know there's one there if we need to, but... There's an empty room. Here we have a person. Marisa. Squinting at a figure behind a partition, you can barely make out a shapely female form in the darkness. She turns to you, but you can see nothing of her face. Greetings. The figure answers in a voice that is slow and deadly, like a steel dagger drawn across stone. Yes, come to speak with Marissa, have you? Quite rude of you to enter a darkened room, storming behind my partition like so. Rude and foolhardy. You can hear a faint whispering sound like a slight breeze, or the hissing of serpents. Morte whispers quietly, "Whoa, creepy shit." My apologies, my lady, I wasn't sure if someone was here. The woman gives a slight humph, but it would seem there is someone in the room, wouldn't it? Shall you be on your way, then? Not just yet. I had some questions. Ask. Why do you remain behind the screen? Is it your wish that I step away from this partition into some patch of light and speak to you face to face? Marissa laughs, and there is the sound of scales sliding on scales. Nay, I think not. The darkness suits me, and doubtless suits you as well. Why is it so dark in here? To prevent any unwanted and embarrassing casualties. Now, what is that you want? I mean, this is clearly a Medusa person. I'm not gonna ask her to come into the light. I don't want to spoil her thing and cause something. It's fine. What can you tell me of the side prostitute?
Updated my journal.
Yes, Echo. I knew another Echo once, though her name was written differently. I know nothing of this girl, though. Ask Delora of her. She made friends of an old lover of Echo's, I have heard. Do you know anything about the witch? No. Do you? You hear an outside from out of the darkness. Go ask Eves. She collects many tales. She can probably tell you something of use. Alright, now we're gonna quick save. Oh, we're not in dialogue mode. Alright, now we're in dialogue mode. I'm gonna ask her to come out. Nay, an addition of please will not serve to persuade me. Now what do you want? Sure you did not come all this way to see. I do want to see what you look like. You have no such want. Oh, I do. What do you look like? The darkness hides us both. Let's make it a game. I'm fretfully bored. Let me guess. Are you a human male? Honestly, the correct answer is, I think so. You think so? How could you not know? I really have no sure idea of what I am. Truly, that's almost interesting. There's the sound of hissing in the darkness. Describe yourself for me. Tall, muscular, and horribly scarred. Indeed. She pauses for a moment. How are you so horribly scarred? Wait, never mind. I do not wish to know. Now describe yourself for me. Marissa describes herself as a shapely, pale-skinned, beautiful woman with a forked tongue, hair made out of writhing asps and glowing eyes, which you assume she must be keeping shut. You sound very exotic looking, Marissa.
Updated my journal.
Marissa laughs slightly, and the sound accompanies by a slight hissing. Oh, I am. And my merest glance turns living things to stone. From beings of flesh to statuary, with only the bat of an eyelash. Living things to stone? Could you turn, say, a limb into a statue? I suppose I could. Had you a limb and were I inclined to do so. And I might be so inclined, had I my crimson veil. But I do not know where it has gone. Have you seen it, perchance? No, what's it for? Is it just a normal veil? Marissa sighs quietly. Not quite. It aids me in communication. Face-to-face communication, that is. Why do you need to hide your face? Enough with these asinine questions. How tiresomely annoying you are. And what do you want? Alright. Why would I want to turn a limb into a statue? Confused. Kisai Ceres. This alarmingly voluptuous woman has a thick mane of wavy raven-colored hair, bluish skin, and shimmering crimson eyes, like rubies which have fires lit behind them. Though she is not beautiful in the typical sense of the word, her features are exotic and not altogether unattractive. Greetings. Oh, I accidentally hit 2. The woman's voice is deep and sensuous. And my greetings to you, sir. Her burning eyes roam over you. I'm Kisai Ceres. So tell me, what might I do for you? Anything! Morty cries. Do anything you want to me! Kisai laughs heartily, revealing canines long enough to be considered fangs. She shakes her head and smiles at Morty. Truly tough, please. What can I do for you? Well, what do you usually do for patrons? Talk, of course. Usually about dreams, often those erotic in nature. But not always. Kisai winks at you, smiling. So, would you like to tell me yours? Don't be shy, I've heard everything, you know. Nothing will shock or surprise me, and I still love to hear people's dreams. We can trade if you'd like, too, but you must go first. My dreams were recently revised when I saw you, my lady. Now, we're gonna go with I don't have dreams, actually. Kisai arches her eyebrows in surprise. Truly? How sad. Even fiends and devas dream, you know. Are you certain you don't? Quite certain. No dreams at all. Too peculiar. I'm a loss as to what to say. Well, I did have some questions. Kisai blinks her crimson eyes at you, awaiting your question. If you don't mind my asking, what are you? I'm gonna go with vampire. Kisai shakes her head. What? Can't you tell? She draws herself up, thrusting her ample bosom towards you. A woman. She raises an eyebrow. I can see my answer doesn't please you. I'm plain touch, actually, like your friend here. Kisai indicates Anna. That's all you need to know. Another question. Well, what can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Yes, that's Echo. She's very sweet but so quiet. I understand that she said something once, which caused some great tragedy. And because of that, she'll never speak again. Kisai shrugs, smiling. An interesting enough story, but I don't know if it's true. Try asking Deionarra. I've seen her talking to an ex-lover of Echo, back from a time when Echo was speaking. Let's get about, I'm trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be?
Updated my journal.
No, I haven't seen it since last time she wore it out. But Nanny might have seen something, so try asking her. I'll admit it's been nice. Marissa won't leave her chamber without the veil, and so we've all been spared her foul tongue, leaving us only Kimasksi to deal with. Kisai smirks. That Kimasksi's the worst of the two, though. How so? Marissa's haughty and mean, but Kimaski's. She's a bitter, spiteful monster of a woman with a venomous tongue and a demeanor of a bailer. I can see why anyone would like to speak with her. I sincerely doubt her appearance makes up for that flaying, poisonous mouth of hers. But she receives patrons nonetheless. It's called being a dom girl. That's definitely what's happening here. Other questions? Ravel puzzle wall? Alright. I Are you sure? You seem suddenly upset. She narrows her red eyes at you. Of course, I'm sure. Don't ask me of her again. Nothing here. Hanky. Locked.
Might as well.
Done.
Some copper. Oh, this is the Kamask Sea, Adder Tongue. The wild-looking tiefling girl meets your gaze with an angry scowl. Her tattooed body is practically naked, covered only by a narrow leather thong, a black clawed brassiere, and armor shoulder pads that appear to serve more as decoration rather than actual protection. Her spiked hair, as well as the thin fur that covers her goat-like legs, is brassy white, and numerous silver rings dangle from her ears, nostrils, lips, and brows. She wears a leather collar around her throat with the inscription, Kamask Sea Adder Tongue. Greetings. Kamask Sea bares her teeth at you. And just what are you looking at, you banged-up sod? My friend thought you were attractive, but whoa, was he ever horribly mistaken. She sneers at Morte, then looks below him, where her body would normally be. Sharp tongue for a stabless debtor. Let him keep at it. Morte. I'd like mine anywhere near if I had one. Why, did you hear the word brothel and think you could make some jink here, you flea-bitten gutter whore? Huh, can't believe they even let you in the door, what with all those ticks hopping off your shaggy legs. Ticks? The only annoying insect around here is you. She suddenly turns to you. Hey, you here to talk to me or what? Or what? What else can I do with you? What do you have in mind, you sudding jawbox? Go ahead, give me a reason to say no to you. What do you usually do for patrons? I'm a practitioner of abuse. What's that mean? I'll show you. Her hand lashes out to slap your face, but you manage to barely dodge the blow. Kamask Sea pouts visibly at scowls. Oh well. I'm not gonna ask her to teach more to be more abusive. Let's just go. I have some questions. The tiefling rolls her eyes. That what makes you think I care? Why don't you like my backside? My tongue's not wide enough and I don't like hair in my mouth. Well, you seem to like the taste of offal in your mouth, you dung-breathed cretin. Only because it's like kissing you, you mangy stinkpot. Kiss me? She makes a retching sound. I'd rather kiss a bloody mess of phlegm than lay my lips on you. No thanks. Don't thank me. Thank the power someone actually wants to kiss you. Kamask Sea looks at a loss for something to say. For an instant, a smile threatens to crack the grimacing mask of her face, then she becomes more of a basilisk than ever. Alright, what do you want of me? Questions answered. She looks annoyed. Fine, whatever. Ask. What can you tell me about the Crimson Veil? Shh. Up your arse, perhaps? Hell, I don't know. Kamask Sea smooths back her hair, which instantly springs back up into a spiky mess. Can you teach Morte here to be more abusive? She raises her eyebrows. Now that's an unusual request. I don't know, it seems pretty foul-mouthed already. He? That's he seemed pretty foul-mouthed. Kamask Sea, bladder-wrung, you scruffy, goat-gammed harlot. You wish you had legs like mine, you pitiful wretch of a bone box. I can walk, run, dance. What do you do? Bob around whistling, you had a pair, goats or otherwise? The two of them lay into one another, exchanging barbed, blistering insults and clashing with razor-edged tongues. At last, the two stop their bickering, and eerie silence settles over them as they eye one another hatefully. Finally, the tiefling makes a grudging admission to Morte. You're not bad, really. Not bad at all. Better than you, perhaps? Morte wiggles his eyebrow at her. Eh? Kamask Sea narrows her eyes at Morte. Don't push it, skull.
New taunts, all right.
I won't, tiefling. I'll admit I may have learned a thing or two, though. Good thinking, chief. Sure thing, Morte. Let's talk about a side prostitute, which she's gonna tell me. What, that echoed shit? Don't know anything about her. Don't talk to the girl. I mean, why? Not like she can talk back. Ask Frigid Deionarra about her. I think I saw her playing Go with an old crush of Echoes back when she could talk. Alright, one last room, it looks like. Which... Oh! Eve's the tail chaser. Oh, and she's a female. I was expecting a male from the name. This fetching young woman has a faraway look in her soft sea green eyes. Greetings. Greetings, I'm Eve, the tail chaser. What a coincidence, I too chase tails. Eve continues, unperturbed. Have you come to treat tails? Sure, I'd like to treat tails. I would like that very much, yes. I guess I'll just go these in order. Let's start with waking up in the mortuary. Eve leans forward as you tell the tale of your awakening in the Dustman's mortuary. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. I too will tell a tale of the Dustman chapters of dust. Go on. There are chapters in the Dead Book, the massive tome which the Dustmen keep the records at passing of all that lives in the eternal band. In this book, there are chapters that are not but dust, and it is believed that the names therein are lost souls who cannot die, but must suffer life eternally until history itself dies and grants them release. That's interesting. That might be what's ailing us. Talk about the Alley of Lingering Sights. Eve's lean forward as you tell the tale of the alley giving birth. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. And now I have one for you. Before I begin, I must ask, do you know what a modron is? Yes, we saw them out there. Then I shall tell you the tale of the clock and the quadron. Once upon a time, there existed a modron. It was newly created, its logic fresh and untested, and had come to sigil, following the commands of its modron superiors. It knew nothing of commands and dictates, of obedience and passing along the orders of its superiors. For you see, modrons are only aware of the commands of their immediate superiors. They have no grasp of a higher authority. Until this one. One day it came upon a small shop, within which there was a small clock that could no longer tell time. It was cracked along the edges, the wheels of its hand broken. The modron immediately set itself to work at getting the parts to fix the broken clock. It made a new wooden housing for the clock's parts, replaced the bend springs, carefully filed and oiled the clockwork machinery, and carved new hands from the sparse metal available to it. The newly repaired clock's precise ticking reminded it of the great gears of Mechanus, and it comforted it as much as anything may comfort a modron. And what the modron never came to understand was that it truly loved this clock that it had worked on. And for reasons it could not explain, elected to remain in sigil and be with the clock for the rest of its years. Let's talk about the Silent King. Eve leans forward as tells the tale of a hidden nation of undead ruled by a corpse wasn't spoken in 1,000 years. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you. The petitioner at the gate. It was far after peak when a distant pounding was heard at the gates of the prison. Karras, the oldest mercy killer known to the faction, dragged himself from his post, making his way down the hall to the great gates that separated the punished from the outside world. The pounding did not fade as he reached the gate and spoke to it. He called out and received no answer. He opened the gate, far from feeling caution, but a strange compelling sensation. A haggard figure was on bent knees just beyond the door. Her hands were bloody from where they had been pounding against the gate, and her breath came in labored gasps. As the flickering light from the interior prison chamber poured over across the cobbles, she glanced up at the mercy killer who stood framed in the doorway and began to sob with relief. He felt himself mirrored in all but his gender as he stared at the woman, and he was stirred by her presence. Karras found himself unsure of what to say, so he simply waited for the woman to provide an explanation. She did. It was a simple statement, but of utmost importance, and it made Karras whose knees ached painfully with every movement, bent down and helped the woman to her feet. He brought her in from the outside, guiding her gently to the passageway beyond. She had said that an injustice had been done, and that was all that Karis needed to hear. In the end, it came to pass that she could not fulfill her duty as a fury, for a man guilty of a blood crime had died unpunished. She begged Karis and the Mercy Killers for aid, and so they executed her. She had failed in her charge. Let's talk about Reekwind's curse. Okay, blah blah blah. She won for us the Gilded Tail. Upon the plain of Isgard is the Gilded Hall, where those sensates that seek the pleasure of gullet and loin can be found. They indulge these passions in earnest, never realizing that the doors of the hall never open, and that there is no clear path back to the Civic Festhall. They are the unwanted sensates, the ones that do not truly believe in affection, but instead seek only pleasure for pleasure's sakes. Are prisoners who do not realize they are such truly prisoners? Let's talk about the Isle of Dangerous Angles. This is the Lady's Suitor. The tale concerns the suitor of the Lady of Pain, one of many over the years. He was a young man who was obsessed with the mistress of Sigil. He saw her everywhere, in every corner of her city. He would hear the rustling of her robes, the scrape of her blades, and grew infatuated beyond all reason. He hoped that if he worshipped her, that he would at least be able to see her. And so to worship her he did. He was found dead on the blood-soaked steps of his own home, grievous stab wounds covering the whole of his body. But his eyes were open wide, and upon his lips was a triumphant smile. Talk about Farad. Once came a man who had experienced the most beautiful thing in the multiverse. It was his intention to place the experience within one of the Civic Festhall sensory stones, magical devices which held feelings and memories for an eternity, leaving them for others to partake of. But he thought about it. Wouldn't its being shared dilute the experience? So he held it to himself, precious thing that it was, and aged with the memory. But as he aged, the memory became tarnished and beaten, and he could no longer recall the glory of the experience. Talk about Ignis. She'll talk about the execution. Once a murderer roamed Sigil Street, a black-hearted man by the name of Cossacks. He had been blessed by the Abyssal Mother so that no one could strike him with an intent to harm or they themselves would die. He reveled in his blessing, using it to start fights and to murder anyone who crossed his path. During one of his murderous rages, he was captured by the Harmonium with nets and brought before the governors. The trial was short, final, yet Cossacks laughed at the proceedings, knowing that no one among them could harm him without dying horribly. At the final day of his trial, he was proclaimed guilty and sentenced to death. Cossack's sentence proclaimed by the governors was this: confinement for thrice 30 days, during which time you shall give up your life, be declared dead, and your body removed when all signs of life cease. Cossacks laughed and dared any of them to try and harm him, yet the court was silent. The Mercy Killers led Cossacks to their prison and locked him in a dark, empty cell. There was no cot, no lights, and the only door was a steel grate in the ceiling. As he lowered him into the cell, the Mercy Killer told him, "In the corner of your cell you will find a chalice. It holds poison. Your death will be swift." "Aren't you going to execute me?" Cossack snarled at the guard. "No one in Sigil shall lay a hand on you with intent to harm," came the Mercy Killer's reply. "Then I spit on your cowardice!" Cossacks laughed, feeling for the chalice in the darkness, then hurling it at the wall and shattering it. Its poison dipped from the walls and dried until it was no more. "Come then, you will have to try and kill me now." But there was no response from the gate in the ceiling. It was then the Cossacks noted the cell had no cot, no lights, and no food and water. All that remained was a shattered chalice, the poison gone, and for the first time, Cossacks knew the icy touch of death's approach. In twice 30 days, the grate opened, and Cossacks' body, now cold, was taken out from the cell. It had given up its life, and the execution had been carried out. Yeah, let's see if any of our companions have anything to trade. Morty goes like, why do I have to tell a story? Forget it then. Oh, no, I'll do it. I just thought I'd complain a little out of convention. Besides, I love the attention. Morty says, an elderly man was sitting alone in the dark path, right? He wasn't certain of which direction to go and had forgotten both where he was traveling to and who he was. He'd sat down for a moment to rest his weary legs and suddenly looked up to see an elderly-looking woman before him. She grinned toothlessly with a cackle spoke. Now your third wish, what will it be? Third wish? The man was baffled. How can it be a third wish if I had had a first and second wish? You've had 2 wishes already, the hag said. But your second wish was for me to return everything to the way it was before you had made your first wish. That's why you remember nothing, because everything is the way it was before you made your any wishes. She cackled at the poor bird. So it is that you have 1 wish left. Alright, said the man. I don't believe this, but there's no harm in wishing. I wish to know who I am. Funny, said the old woman as she granted his wish and disappeared forever. That was your first wish. Eve smiled. An interesting tale, Morty. And now I have one for you and your companion. The Fiendscape. The fiends sometimes wander in the wilderness of a certain prime world in the guise of a friendly old man. One day he came upon some hunters in the wood. What are you doing? The fiend asked. The hunters told him, and the fiend nodded. I've never been on a hunt before. The hunters invited the old man to come along, and the group eventually came upon a glade where several deer were grazing. The hunters carried crossbows but did not fire, and the fiend asked them why. You're unarmed, the hunters chuckled, patting their crossbows. We hunt nothing that does not have the ability to defend itself. After all, where is the sport in that? The fiend nodded at this and promptly gated in 3 of his fellows. The hunters led them on a merry chase, but eventually they were caught and eaten. Let's see if Anna has a story. Let's say, please share your story, Anna. Well, I know one story. She suddenly becomes angry, glaring at Eve. But you might not like it. You won't, so don't be blaming me for choking it out of me. Anna scowls, then finally relents with an exasperated sigh. I heard the story when I was a wee lass. This Burke's walking home real late, near Anti-Peak, and passes an old toothless crone in a dark and otherwise empty street. Where are you going? She asks him. Home to me wife and Kip, he says. Near the Slags? She asks him. Sure enough, he says. So she asks him for a favor. Take a box she's got to Debtor's Pit and give it to the woman there. Now this Burke's a real sap, too nice to say no despite the fact that he's sure something's not quite right about this old crone, and agrees. What's the woman's name? He asks. Where does she live? Where should I look for her if she's not by Debtor's Pit? The woman hands him the box, a wooden thing wrapped in colored cloth, and tells him to just go and she'll be there. Finally she warns him, and whatever you do, do not open the box. So he takes it home with him and hides it in the rafters, thinking he'll bring it by Debtor's Pit when slide out. His wife, though, seeing him hide in the box, gets right jealous thinking it's a gift for a lover or something, and opens it up as soon as it's not looking. Well, it turns out the box is full of gouged out eyes and several nail members with the hair still on them. Her scream brought the Burke running. You remember what the crone said, got right scared and wrapped the box back up. He went out straight away to Debtor's Pit, and sure enough there was another old hag waiting there for him. He answered the box and she says to him, "This box has been opened and looked into." The poor Burke tries to deny it, but she gets the dreadful look on her face. "You've done something horrible," she tells him, then disappears. That done, he hurries back to his skip. He's feeling ill when he gets back and takes to bed. His wife bitterly regretted opening the box and all, but it was too late. The next day he died of a rotten disease, and the first thing to go was his eyes at the step. Anna nods grimly, her tale complete. Eve smiles. That was a wonderful tale, Anna. You should never hesitate to share it. I've got one for you and your companion, Parched Land. Once a large village was struck by a terrible drought. A farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone and again implored it as to the cause of the drought. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and dying, why the animals and the people suffered while the stone did not a thing. Have we not given enough of offerings? The farmer asked. begging almost upon his hands and knees. But the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow. That's a pretty terrible story. There's kind of no point to it besides that it's pointless to worship things, I guess. Let's see if Dakon has one to trade. I shall impart the tale of the Akali drowning. Dakon tells the story of Akali, a foolish Gitsurai of myth who had become lost in the chaos of limbo. Normally, a single Gitsurai may use their focus and mental discipline to form the chaos around them into a small habitable environment. Akali, however, asks so many useless and unfocused questions in her quest to return home that her isle of matter dissolved around her and she drowned. Eve smiles. Fascinating, Dakon. Let me share with you and your companion another version of your tale that I have heard. Dakon's look attentive and perhaps a little surprised. Eve goes on to tell a different version of Dakon's tale, in which Akali was driven from the Gitsurai city of Shrakulor for constant useless prattling. One day, she encountered a slutty on her way to the spawning stone. She hastily erected the wall of chaos matter, which even the ravenous slutty found difficult to break down. Hungrily it waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked a question, and as she became more absorbed in her pointless queries and the slutty's answers, her own wall decayed and collapsed upon her, and thus she drowned in the matter of limbo. Alright, we're out of stories. Eve, you look familiar. Is her mother name Ivana? Eve nods. Yes, but she and I no longer speak, just that she'll speak no more of her. Let's ask her about the Crimson Veil. Eve shakes her head. Maurice has an interesting tale. Would you hear it? Yes, go ahead. Once upon a time, in a world of heroes and a time of petty, childish gods, there were three sisters. Cursed with a hideous appearance, they were considered demons by the people of their land and forever shunned. One missed their sister terribly, yet left that world with a shame behind, but exchanged the pettiness of a pantheon for the pettiness of self. Ravel Puzzlewell? The tale of Ravel Puzzlewell, Frighter and her children, begins and ends with a question. What can change the nature of a man? Many were the times she posed this riddle to those who approached her, those who sought to glean from her the strange magics that she alone seemed to possess. All attempted to answer her query, but to no avail. And they found the price of their wrong answer to be some horrible fate. Always more terrible than the last victims. To recount their various torments would be to speak of things that nightmares are born from. The tale strikes me in this way. Ravel herself knew not the answer to this question, but she lusted for an answer. Only the why of the matter remained in question. Why did the nature of a man matter to one of the Grey Sisters, especially one of such power as Ravel? Or Ravel? I guess I think I feel like go back and forth between Ravel and Ravel. Let's go with Ravel. It is said that she put the question to the Lady of Pain. Not directly, but shouted it to Sigil itself, daring for the lady to answer. When no reply was forthcoming, she wove the terrible magic that threatened to open the cage and left the fury of the plains rolling like a wave. She received no answer other than banishment. To this day, no one knows the answer to Ravel's question, but there is no one to petition, for Ravel herself is gone, lost in the plains.
Updated my journal.
Wait, there is more. Though my tale ends with Ravel's demise, there are some that claim the hag still lives. There is a silent prostitute here who once talked of such things, but she speaks no longer. If she would speak to you, she might tell you more of Ravel. What can you tell me about her? Echo? I once heard a tale of a girl who knew the world that, if spoken, would undo the multiverse. Perhaps this is Echo. Ask Deionarra, though. I understand that sometimes she meets with one who knew Echo before she stopped speaking. I think that's about it. I don't know if there's anything else we can actually... I thought we were supposed to talk to one of them for it, but maybe that was not the case. I guess we were supposed to talk to her about Ravel, which we did. Okay. Alright, so let's find... Do we talk to Fall from Grace? No. Before you is a stunning golden-haired woman dressed in an azure and violet dress with two long, elegant wings draped across her shoulders. She's surveying the room with a slight smile. She's easily the most beautiful woman you've ever seen.
Well met,
Greetings.
traveler. How may I help you?
The woman turns to as you address her. She takes your measure, then nods slightly. You notice her eyes are azure, the same exact color as her dress. Well met, traveler. She reaches up to brush back a stray lock of golden hair. How may I help you?
Updated
Who are
my
you?
journal.
I am called Fall from Grace. She studies you for a moment. You're new to Sigil, aren't you? No, I suspect I've been here for quite some time, actually. Fall from Grace raises an eyebrow. Indeed? Yes, but it is a long tale, perhaps longer than I know. I'm more interested in what this place is. This is the Brothel of Slating intellectual lusts. She studies you for a moment. I take it by your question that you did not intend to partake of this establishment? What kind of brothel is it? I established this brothel to give those lustful fevers that strike the mind more avenues of expression rather than the simply carnal. Much pleasure can be had in conversation engaging with the verbal arts of others. Morty. Sounds dull. Fall from Grace. I assure you it is not. For the brothel, see for yourself. So this is a brothel where there's no intercourse? Only of a psychological nature. Rest assured, it is still quite stimulating. I have to ask, when did you establish such a place? Fall from Grace raises an eyebrow. That is an odd question. She frowns. I don't think anyone has ever asked me that, at least directly. My apologies, Lady Grace. I didn't mean to be so direct. I was merely curious. Oh, no apologies are necessary. I'm more than happy to discuss the reasons with you if you wish. I would like to hear them, yes. Part of the answer to your question requires that you know that I am a member of a society of sensation. Our faction believes that one should experience as much of the multiverse as possible. And is that why you established this place? The brothel is intended to slate the lust of even the hard and intellectual. It is designed to stimulate the mind or heighten one's awareness of themselves and others, to create new ways of experiencing another person. It is for those who seek something more than a shell of physical pleasures that feel the hive and no rewards. Well, I wouldn't call them shall, I mean, I can understand that. The women here must be special indeed. The women here are aspiring sensates. They have come to me in search of instruction to prepare them to enter the faction. Also, many of them have a natural grasp of language that can shatter the crust of most hardened individuals. Sensates? She bows slightly. Yes, I'm a member of the Society of Sensation. Our faction believes... Oh. Sensate sensations. Okay. And the girls here are training to be sensates? Yes, I hope that by learning the art of language and its subtleties, and the patrons and the students here may learn more about themselves. One is only as limited as their command of the language. To be able to employ language to evoke emotions in others is a tremendous skill. Would you care to join me on my travels? Anna stiffens and starts muttering under her breath. Who's to say she'll be coming with us? We don't need the likes of her, we don't. Fire that, fiendling! Morty clicks his teeth together. I'm all for the succubus coming with us. The powers know you're about as fun as passing a coulter up to your bowels. You best let your bone box crawl or I'll rattle you so hard they'll be picking your teeth up the spire. Travel with you? Fall from Grace smiles slightly. She seems to be ignoring your companions. That's rather forward of you. I'd rather be honest with my intentions. You seem extremely pleasant and well-versed in the ways of the plains. A companion with that kind of knowledge would be welcome. Hey, wait just a minute. I'm the one well-versed in the plains. That's my job, Chief. Having two people knowledgeable about the plains in our band seems pretty smart to me. Besides, I said pleasant, too, Morty. Pleasant on the eyes, maybe. Look to me like I'm some, like all some shit has to do is show a little skin, and you'll sign it right up. Morty falls silent. Not that I mind that, really. I just thought I'd mention it. Noted, Morty. Look, Lady Grace, excuse me if I'm being too forward, but would you care to travel with us? I appreciate your candor. I shall counter with some of my own. Why should I travel with you? Lady Grace, I intend to travel to places perhaps no one has ever been to, or could reach. Would that interest you? That would indeed. She cups her chin in her hands and thinks for a moment. Yet... You're a sensate. Surely there must be a limit to how much you can learn here. I think you would be surprised. If you want me to accompany you on your travels, I need a far more compelling reason than that. Alright. If I may ask, Lady Grace, the wings on your back, you're not human, I take it? She's one of the fiends, one of the succubi she is. She'll take your measure, then she'll take your soul to the lower planes, so she will. Your companion is correct. I'm a lesser Tenari, more specifically a succubus. She gives a soft sigh. I'm afraid we're a little too common in the lower planes and elsewhere for our own good. Most of my race spend their time seducing mortals with various pleasures of the flesh.
Updated my journal.
I like to think I've distanced myself from that. It is ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. There is so much more to life, wouldn't you agree? I came here looking for help. Perhaps you can help me. I seem to have lost my memories. In so doing, I've lost myself. You have been stricken with amnesia? Fall from grace looks pained. How terrible. Do you have any idea how it happened? Not really. At least not that I can remember. I woke up on a slab in the mortuary and everything before that is black. You awoke in the mortuary? I think the dustman mistook me for being dead. Or I was dead. Or something. All I know is that I regenerate wounds quickly. I could be immortal, but I don't even know that for sure. All from Grace seems to be appraising you with renewed interest. The scars on your body. She reaches out a hand as if to touch you. May I? Sure. All from Grace drags her fingers along your chest lightly, tracing the edges of your scars and following the curves where they blend into some of your tattoos. She seems fascinated. These scars do look as if they would have taken several lifetimes to accumulate. They certainly do, though some are more recent. All from Grace steps back. Some of those wounds would have been fatal to a normal man. She taps her chin, thinking, what do you intend to do now? I need to get my memories back and my life back. I intend to scour the plains and search inside myself until I can piece together who I am and what brought me to the Slating. While from Grace is still thinking, her finger tapping on her chin. I must say, I've never met a man who had lost himself in the literal sense. She raises an eyebrow. Forgive me, but your condition is intriguing. Intriguing? Frightening is more like it. I don't like knowing who I am, what I may have done, who my enemies are, and who are my friends. I've offended you with my words. Fall from Grace bows her head. I give my apology if you will have it. Never mind, no harm done. Fall from Grace nods. If it will help, you are welcome to tour the brothel. Several of our students are well versed in the verbal arts. Perhaps some of them will be able to rekindle your memories.
Updated my journal.
Let's go, let's try travels again now that we said how special we are. I'd rather be honest. You mean you wouldn't be interested in traveling with an immortal amnesiac who is searching the plains for himself? Oh, I would be extremely interested. She smiles slightly. Such a suggestion is intriguing, make no mistake about that. Then you would like to travel with me, then? If you wish me to, then there is something you must do for me. There are 10 students in this establishment. I would like you to speak with all of them, then return to me with your thoughts. Then we shall see if we shall travel together or not.
Updated my journal.
I think I talked to all of them. Unless there's... yeah. Oh, okay, the lore I need to... God, okay. So we're gonna have to go get the heart keys. I don't know if literal or metaphorical. Oh, this one too is missing. Vivian. This tall, elegant woman with her sharp features and regal demeanor is a striking example of an aristocratic beauty. Her clothes appear to be spun of silver thread, and a small phial dangles from her necklace. She's perfumed with an exotic, erotic scent that seems to draw you toward her. Greetings. She looks you over, arcing an eyebrow with what you sense to be disdain. Greetings. My name is Vivian. Am I to presume I am being summoned? No, I have just some questions. She nods imperiously. Go on, then. What's that incredible smell? She smiles at you. I thank you for your compliment, but I assure you this particular aroma is a blend of paltry odor in comparison to my personal scent. Your personal scent? Yes, I have a particular scent that seems to have gone wandering. It is somewhat difficult to keep in one place. I hope that someone did not take it by accident. Though you never know with the ladies around here. She frowns. So, by chance, have you smelled it somewhere? You smell quite nice right now, you know. She scowls for a moment and smiles at you. Yes, I thank you for my compliment, but I assure you this particular aroma is nothing to my personal scent. How can a scent go wandering? Vivian shakes her head. I'd meant to infer that it had been taken. Ladies here are a bit jealous at times and have been known to take my various perfumes for themselves. This time, though, someone has absconded with my own personal scent. I worked on that scent, perfected it, now poof, 'tis gone. I need not bear such annoyances. Vivian stomps her feet. I want that scent back and I want it now. How would you know if you found it? I would know it by smell, I assure you. It's quite striking, especially to men. I can help you. Yeah, no imposition. I expect a reward. As I should have expected from your brutish mercenary appearance. Very well. Recover my scent and I shall aid you with yours. Mine? Yes, yours. That foul, vinegary smell. She sniffs then wrinkles her nose. It is in your skin, too. No bathing will remove that stink. How would you do this and how could it benefit me? To answer your first question, I possess certain skills, magical in nature, which I shan't elaborate upon further, which allow me to create and change one's scent. And the benefits? You simply cannot deny the fact that the smell of a man or a woman plays an important part in how well one is received. Whether you've been told so or not, I'm quite certain people are at least a tad put off by the deathly aroma of yours. It might increase your charisma considerably to smell a bit better, you know.
Updated my journal.
Alright, I've spoken with 9 prostitutes altogether. You know where the 10th students would be? 10th student? She studies you as if you had not heard correctly. Perhaps you have taken one too many blows to the head. Or perhaps one of the girls have been playing games with you. There is no 10th prostitute that I know of. What about the Crimson Veil? Right to know its location and set it alight and cast its remnants into the deepest of pits. May that wretched thing never find her precious veil and be confined to that chamber for the rest of her days. Vivian harums. Alright,
How may I help you?
I could not find the 10th. And you could not find the 10th student? How curious. I'm thinking the 10th student is me, in which case I've spoken to all of them. She nods. Very well. And your thoughts? I've learned what it means to aspire to be a sensate, and it is better to go in search of experience rather than have it come to you. Offer grace nods. Very well, I will travel with you if you still desire my company.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become
Mistress
stronger.
High and Mighty will be joining us. What do we need her for?
You couldn't possibly understand.
I wish she would fall from great height. I might even bump her off myself.
Alright. So she is a priest. She has a lock in a diary that we cannot open. Blessing, cure like wounds, protection from evil. Aid. which I'm not sure why she's using aid right now. Cure wounds, spiritual hammer, call lightning, prayer. Cure serious wounds.
Yes. How may my faith lend me strength?
Why did you just, like, use a bunch of spells? I mean, it's fine, I guess. But why? No, it's the stats screen. She is a female succubus. She is lawful neutral. She's part of the Sensates. She is level 7. Which Dakon is also now. He's got more spell slots. And Morte also reached that, I guess. More HPs, more good stuff. Alright.
It shall be done.
Alright. Smell. Smelly, smell. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find Vivian's
Updated
scent.
my journal.
No, I don't. Kisai frowns. Most of the women will say she's prissy, but she's always been nice enough to me, complimenting me on my eyes, and she smells so good. Hope she finds her own scent again soon. Try asking Nanny about it. She's everywhere at once and might have seen something. You do have very lovely eyes, you know. Anna sneers, rolling her eyes. Egypt. Why, thank you. You can see them glowing in the dark, you know. Bizarre, no? She pauses to look at you. You have some nice eyes too, so dark and mysterious. So full of character. Fall from grace. Alright. Let's ask her about Vivian's scent. Nanny. Okay. Which one is Nanny? Oh, so I guess we didn't miss this room. So now that's Marisa, which is really Medusa. Excuse me, looking for someone named Nanny. Echo. Nanny Nine Eyes. There we go. I had some questions. Let's ask her about the scent. Nanny frowns deeply. Oh, I just can't. I can't say anything bad about anyone. I'm just no good at it. It's not bad to point out a thief, Nanny. Oh, but I don't know if she's a thief. Nanny bites her lip and looks at you with pleading eyes, as if she just wished you'd leave the topic alone. Look, why don't you try and say something not nice about her? Oh, alright. Nanny puts her hand on her hips and frowns deeply, almost exaggeratedly. You resist the temptation to laugh. Oh, I dislike her very, very much. She pauses for a moment, then looks at you out of the corner of her eyes as if gauging your reaction. Was that convincing? No, not really. I knew I wouldn't be any good at this. She looks up at you depressed. Do you know how hard it is to say bad things about someone? It feels so wrong. Why don't you practice on me, Nanny? I suppose I could try. She looks dubious. You big, mean, nasty brute. She puts her hands on her hips. Meanie! She looks at you. How was that? Put more accent on brute. You big, mean, nasty brute. Better, now hit me. Then he clamps her hand over her mouth, looking shocked. Oh, I couldn't, I mustn't! She blinks. How does one hit somebody anyway? Go ahead. Do it lightly if you have to. Remember, I'm a mean, nasty brute. I deserve it. Nanny slaps you. You barely feel it. She still looks shocked and frightened she hurt you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt? Tell me you're okay. Don't break character, Nenny. Come on, show me what you've got. You can say something bad, just let it all out. Nenny draws her tiny frame into its full height, balls her hand into fists, puts them on her hips, and scrunches up her face in a cute scowl. Oh, damn be you! You deserve that for all the indignities you put me through. Going out late at night. Her eyes roam up and down your body. Getting into fights and getting all scarred up. What are the kids going to think, huh? Excellent. Oh, don't you excellent me. I'm like some back licker looking for your approval. I am my own woman, and this woman is about to walk out of your life unless I get some solid commitment. Alright, that's enough out of you, Nenny. Then he punches you. You barely feel it. Take this! She punches you again. And this! She punches you again, promptly turning into a little fist-flailing whirlwind. Okay, time to let go of the anger. Then he sighs terribly. Phew, that was easier than I thought. No kidding. And I'm sure I'll do better next time. I'm so excited to have learned something new. Thank you. Alright, so Vivian said...
Updated my journal.
Maybe I saw that mean Marissa sneaking out of Vivian's room one night. Now, I'm not saying she took it, but I know Marissa's not a very nice person, and that sure sounds suspicious, huh? I'd go ask her about it.
You know, I've learned some new tricks.
Yeah, everything in oh, we're maxed out. Oh no, we don't have any points, that's why. Alright. Oh, she's only level 6 though. Alright, let's go talk to Marissa. It returns. You have a reason for coming this time, I trust, or just more of your pointless questions? More pointless questions, Marissa. Ask. I'm trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be? No, I have not a clue. I was told you were sneaking away from Vivian's chamber recently. Is that connected with her missing scent somehow?
Updated my journal.
Marissa says nothing, though an angry hissing issues from the darkness around her. Yes, I've been known to creep into Vivian's chamber for some of her perfumes. Though I doubt you'll meet another here who hasn't. If you're implying that I've got your personal scent, well, feel free to sniff around. You'll not find it on me or in my chambers, I assure you. Perhaps whoever took my crimson veil took Vivian's scent as well. I feel like one of them, today, there was a mention of her scent. Marissa, are you sure? No, but alright, I think this is a dead end. Until we start solving some of the issues that we have. If I look for Veil. Oh, I should ask Nanny for the veil too. Veil.
Updated my journal.
I'll bet I do. I saw a nasty Kimaxiator tongue sneaking out of Marissa's room one night. They're both meanies, you know, but Kimaxi's really awful. Anyway, I talked to her first. Alright. Oh, is that? No, that's Kisaiceris. Maxi is still here. I was told you were sneaking away from the chamber. Kimaxi flies into a rage. Who told you that? She suddenly falls silent, glaring at you through narrowed eyes. If I was there, Burke, I didn't take her filthy veil. Search my room if you'd like. I catch you sniffing in my breeches, though I'll see you're never allowed in here again. But would anyone ever sniff at your breeches?
Updated my journal.
Beats me. Someone snicked more than a few pair of them, though. A third letter brassiere, too, with Yared studs.
Ready.
Please?
Right.
No.
I'm gone.
So there's really a series of thefts here, but we need to resolve that Deionarra thing before we get to sort of undo the whole chain. So at this point, it is time to go to the sensates. Or I guess the hall, or whatever they call it. Alright. Splinter and Joel, me.
All right.
Guy called the Crooked. So what's the... Okay, let's go back here. We're looking for Montague. And we're looking for Merryman. I want to try to, like, zero in on those two first, because I feel like otherwise there's going to be, like, 15 other quests that we unlock here. Montague! Okay, here's one. The handsome young man seemed lost in thought, his brow furrowed and a slight frown upon his lip. Greetings. And to thee, sir, hail, what dost thou wish of me? I have some questions. Well, what are you doing here? I work as an assistant for one of the faction administrators. Though more often than not in the past, I found myself perplexed by one of life's strange ways. Such as problems of the feminine variety. What's the problem, exactly? I don't know what's bothering her. I've tried to cheer her up. I don't know what could be the matter. How are things between you? Other than this bout of discontent and humdrums, everything is splendid. All that orbits around us does so with tranquility. Our families are more than satisfied with our potential union, and our siblings love me. There is nothing wrong. Perhaps that's the problem. No problems. How does that mean that the problems are problems? It is my desire that I speak plainly, sir. Perhaps she wants a little more spice in your relationship. How wouldst thou know that what she wishes? He becomes heated. We love and we love unconditionally, with none of the sort of poisonous wrappings that seem to unfold all in young love. I call thee out, sir, and I call thee a recreant knave and a fool. Oh there, calm yourself. I am sorry. 'Twas the fear of the moment that caused me to speak so. Tender my apologies to the Endines, good sir. Think nothing of it, it's no matter. Are you Montague? I need to speak with you about Juliet. Oh? He gives you a puzzled, slightly suspicious look. I demand her love, and I demand that you withdraw your false protestations of love before I mesh you into tiny bits. Thou love her so that thou wouldst fight me? Yes. He studies you for a moment. Thou art passionate about the matter, I see. Passion stems from love. Thou love her, and I could not deny her love such as thine. I shall from this moment onward hold no claim on her, though may thou as you wish. Actually, that was a ruse? A ruse of what sort? She wanted to provoke you into fighting for her. Oh, did she think my love so boundless that I would engage in fisticuffs with a brutally scarred man of thy teacher? Perhaps she thinks my devotion to her a little high. So what should be done about this ruse? Turnabout is fair play. I say ignore the chit. Act distant and unconcerned. They'll spice things up considerably. Truly? Trust me, kid. Start ignoring her, create some friction, leave her wondering, and they'll be clawing all over to discover what the matter is. Right, Chief? Yes, she'll think something's wrong, and for once you'll be playing the game rather than being the target. Aye, I like the sound of that very much. Good luck, I hope it works out. Farewell. And a farewell to thee as well, sir. Now I have some things to attend to. Should we meet again, we might speak more of the matter. Montague bows and turns to go. I did not notice that there's like a whole hallway worth of stuff. Yeah, what says the map? Okay. It expands this side. Okay, who do we have? 3 planes aligned. Oh, Mirror Man. This guy? This man looks like a bitter, cantankerous old codger. His mouth is twisted into a frown that becomes even more severe as he notices you coming his way. Merry man my name may be, but merry I am not. Off with you, young one. No time for the likes of you. He goes into a fit of coughing from the exertion of shooing you away so loudly. Wait, the lord I want me to speak with you. That's so? About what, eh? Well... She says that you're her first love, and that so long as you hold the keys to her heart, she'll never be free to love another. She told you that, huh? I'm surprised. Perhaps leaving her under Mistress Grace's tutelage did what I couldn't. Started to develop her feelings. In any case, he pats a pocket on his tunic. I won't just give the keys to you. Wait, those are literally the keys to her heart? He nods. That they are. The lure is a construct. Didn't you know that? A creature of sorcery and clockwork mechanics she is, and one of my finest creations. Merriman sighs. But cold without emotion or character. I brought her to a brothel and set her so she could not leave, in the hopes that a constant contact with so many different others would begin to develop her own personality. The keys are the tools used to set her. She wants them because she feels that they're limiting her personal growth now, I suspect. Then why don't just return them to her? Merriman scowls. Because I become a cruel and bitter old man who sees he can get something out of you. Fine, what do you want? I want to forget. I've lived almost 150 years now, and I've seen every sensory stone I've cared to in this grand hall. I've little time left to live, and I'm too weak to go out in search of wholly new experiences. So I needed to find a way to forget them all. That way I can start again in my final days. How can I help?
Updated my journal.
Something. Some item, some concoction that will allow me to forget. Like a drafted river Styx, something like that. I think the curio shop was selling something like that, right? Whoa. Oh, this is... Oh, that's to the
I'm gone.
dormitories.
All right.
Different dormitories? Same dormitories? Probably the same.
Done.
Let's see, what else is here? Dad's Advocate. Mage in training. A bunch of mages in training, it looks like. Whole bunch of mages in training. Here are thieves in training. These all seem to be generic NPCs. So I'm gonna guess these are fighters. Yep. Alright. So we are, at this point, looking for a draft of the River Styx. Is my suspicion that the Curiosity Shop should have something like that. Though it's been some time since I played last, so I don't really remember everything that they have. But one of them should fit, right? Right? Alright, let's see. Oh, there's dialogue. Well, fall from grace. Or whatever it is you call yourself now. Truly a pleasure to see you here. What do I owe the honor of your visit? I thought that you rarely trafficked among our kind anymore. She glances at you for a moment with the same faint sneer. Or is your assignment here almost finished? I do not know what assignment you're referring to, Vrishika, though your presence here brings with it many questions. Last I heard, you were a standard bearer for the Company of the Vulture. How did you come to Sigil? She replies curtly, firing a question back like an arrow. By choice. And you? Where will your orders take you next? She suddenly turns to you. You see, little man. Vrishika smiles as if savoring the words. The best temptress is one that can make you buy into the illusion of being both promiscuous yet virtuous at the same time. A prostitute priestess, as it were. Mistress Grace is among the greatest. She turns to fall from grace. Are you not? You would not think that a score 1,000 years of slavery had left their scars, no? Fall from grace speaks with a coldness you have never heard before. The air almost becomes ice as she dissects Vrishika with her gaze. That is enough. Very well. Though you're the ones who came into my emporium. Yes, I'm here to buy something. Let's look at the exotic items. Oh. Okay, none of these. What about the front? What about the back? Weapons and charms? No, these are actual legitimate things. Oh, okay, let's just... Let's just run through each of these. Actually, I'll take it, since we found an actual Gorgon. Sure. I'll take it in case it helps with the girl. Metallic cube figurine. Monster jug. Let's look at the front. Baby oil. Ew. Oh, you cannot buy the baby oil. Chocolate closet. Perks of the inconceivable. Devasteers. I don't know why I decided to buy it. I just kind of vibe. What if we look at the back? Stained lens. Giver's ring. It's invisible. Well, almost. Rune-covered ale stein. Gives everything icy cold. Tattered ragdoll.
Done.
Alright, that's a bummer, because I thought this would be... Water from the river Styx.
I'm gone.
Let's try... going back to the brothel. Seeing if I can give the tongue to Echo and or the solved Medusa.
Grace, I need a sensory touch.
Done.
Alright, Echo. Oh, let's see what she has to say about either of these. She doesn't know about the scent. She doesn't know about the Crimson Veil. I guess if I were able to use it, it would appear in dialogue. Is that to Marisa? Apparently not. And if I try to talk to... Oh, I should check in on the one that I did help. Kinda. Sort of, I guess? Where are you? Is it Juliet, I think? Yes. Juliet looks to you hopefully. Well, anything yet? Montague seemed disinterested. He's not going to fight for me, then? No, he won't. I recall him saying he was bored with things in any case. Judd looked shocked. He said what? How could I have been so... Oh, it would appear as if my relationship and the troubles I so desired had merely missed them in all my melancholy. Perhaps I have some questions now. What do you know about Vivian's scent? Talks about Nanny. What about the Crimson Veil? Not a fan though. Go talk to Nanny again. Okay. Listen, where are you, Lenora? Delora. Ah. Part of me just wants to go to him and just grab his freaking keys. But I guess we should at least finish exploring this area before we move on, or we try to be mean to the guy. Alright, let's see. We are still looking. So main quest, we're looking for... Oh, well, we don't know who we're looking for. So let's start talking to people. Jomi. The stern-looking older woman seemed to be looking for someone. Her eyes fixed upon your face as you approach her. You there. Might I have a word with you? Yes, you're Jomi, correct? I spoke to your messenger.
Updated my journal.
I am pleased to meet you, then. She gives a slight bow. I would make you a somewhat unusual proposal, though you must admit you are an unusual man. I will give you 1,000 copper common for your permission to kill you. Why? Jomi doesn't bat an eyelash. But why not? Thought it might be an interesting experience, paying someone for the privilege of murdering them. When I first heard rumors of your existence, how could I resist? So what is your answer? Should we discuss matters in greater detail? Where did you hear these rumors? One hears all sort of things here in the Festhall. How could one not eventually hear of a man like you? Sure, let's work out the details. I get 2,000 copper commons. She can drive the dagger into my heart. Well, okay, let's do it. The affair is over in moments. She's cleaned her blade and put it away by the time we've recovered. After picking herself up off the Festhall floor, Jolmy hands you several rolls of copper coins while you rub your aching chest. Somewhat disappointing, I must admit. Ah, well, coin well spent nonetheless. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
I guess I got rich. The towering man's golden skin sparkles slightly, almost as if it were metallic. Whether it's his actual flesh or merely painted on, you cannot tell. He regards you coolly as you approach, giving a respectful bow as you draw near. Welcome to Civic Festhall, traveler. We are Splinter, doorman to the Festhall and priest king of How may we help you? Despite his humble offer of aid, his voice is powerful and commanding, a deep and rumbling sound that resonates throughout the chamber. How can you help me? We do many things in this fine hall, traveler. We answer questions guests might have regarding it or its inhabitants. We direct both visitors and members of the Society of Sensation alike to the sensorium or lecture halls. We also accept new members into the Society. Lastly, it is through us that purchases from the Society's vaults are made. Spells, items, and such. What lectures can I attend? The Festhall's current speakers include Death's Advocate, who speaks of death and what follows it, Geesis the Crooked, who speaks of the Blood War, and 3 Planes Aligned, who speaks of the power of alignment and belief. Assuming they are currently here and well, we could direct you to one of the lectures at any time. Let's start with Death's Advocate. Oh, it just tells me where they are. Okay, I've seen them already. Is there somewhere where I could rest here? There are lodgings within the Festhall, but only members of the Society of Sensation are permitted to use them. Should you wish to visit them, walk eastward towards the Festhall from here. You will eventually come to them. The clerk there allows sensates into their rooms. Are there no other ways to get a room here? How can I become a sensate? One must be willing and prepared to share their own experiences. 5 are required, one from each of the senses. Alternatively, one may combine a single experience that has strong elements from all 5 senses. This must be either new sensations or improvement upon our current stock. Should we find them acceptable, they will be placed into sensory stones, and you, having become a sensate, will be taught the sensory touch. Okay. Actually, I'd like to contribute an experience that involves all 5 senses. I woke up not knowing where I was on a cold-blooded iron slab in the bowels of the mortuary, a place where only dustmen over the corpses in the cave have seen. My entire body reeked of embalming fluid, but even the smell of that was not enough to match the coppery scent of gore around me. Dozens of bodies lying on countless bloody slabs like the one I rose from, all in the process of being gutted, flayed, and the like by nightmarish clockwork device for reasons unknown. The only sounds were the squeals of labored metal and the unsteady tread of undead workers as they pushed the slabs above the mortuary on rusted iron tracks. A disturbing experience. And even left that part about the shattering skull that flew at me as soon as I was upright. Will it suffice, Splinter? Yes, we shall go to an empty stone now to record your experience. You will then be granted access to the privileges allowed to only members of the Society of Sensation, as well as stop the sensory touch. We welcome you to the Society of Sensation, traveler. May further journeys and experiences pave your road into the great truths of the multiverse. Is there anyone here who might know about Ravel Puzzlewell? Splinter closes his eyes and thinks briefly. We would recommend that you speak to a wizard by the name of Quell about Ravel. Quell is always somewhere in the Festhall, most often in the private sensorium. Oh. So I guess we needed to become a sensate to get access to the sensorium.
I'm gone.
Ah, come on. This is called the Messenger. As you touch the stone, its green interior sharpens, flashing, its brightness becoming more than you can bear. So much so you close your eyes to shut it out. As you close your eyes, you feel the skin along your arms become numb, as if all sensation is being bled from them. Tired, so tired. You try and blink, yet the darkness remains. Your lids feel soft and sluggish, unresponsive. You are sitting on what feels to be a dirt floor, and around you is the smell of coppery blood and... herbs? Why are you here? You came here to... what? Your memory fails you, but you feel a growing panic begin to well up within you. Ah, awake now, are you? Questioning Aladon? The voice is an old woman, thick and scratchy, as if it's trying to force its way past a thick layer of dust. Try as you might, you cannot open your eyes and see the woman, but you feel a shiver of fear. Something is wrong, terribly wrong. You try to respond, but all you can manage is a ragged croak. You can feel your tongue in your eyes. What's wrong with your eyes? Now, as see me you did, as spoke you did, and poorly, so the price have you paid, The crone sounds amused, then her tone drops sharply. No more of your questions, now you will listen, and you will remember my words, for in minding me you shall live. She hissed. Not if you hear me, and another bit shall I take. Remember me, you traveler. Remember me to a stone, one of the pretty glimmers in your festive hall. Use it like a cup, pour in what you feel into it, and know this. Remember me to a man who wears a skin of scars and tattoos, who seeks memories but has misplaced them. If smart he is, he will know the knowing of me. Tell him to find me, or if I am to be found, tell him to come to the Glimmerstone, and we shall speak, my precious man and I. Not if you hear me, ragged thing. Ah, pretty polite to listen so long. When he comes to the Glimmerstone, tell the man to speak my name, and your pain shall not have been in vain. Friend's voice trails off as if distracted. You try to speak again, but there is only a sick gurgling noise. What happened? Who is this person? Why are you... And you begin to feel yourself slip into unconsciousness. Ravel! Ravel, it is I!
My journal.
There is silence. Ravel? Ah, my precious man! There is a slow shuffling of feet, and you feel a sharp pinprick in your left eye. You gasp, and suddenly, barely, you can see, with one and only one eye. You lie in a grey hut upon a dirty floor, where blood, your bright red blood, has seeped into the surrounding grey dust. Your arms are gone, your legs have been hacked off to the knees, yet you feel numbed and there is no pain, only fear. There is someone above you, someone looking down at you. As you look up through their bloody, blurred vision, you see a horrid bluish-grey face, grinning with yellowed tusks. Ravel is pleased, wondering if it was this messenger who would make it. For weak he was when his bits were placed in my plate. She holds up a talon in front of you, and impaled on the tip is an eyeball, the right one. Yet to the festive hall he returned, it seems, and our time too together he has shared. And now you have come. Success! I have many questions for you. The crone shakes her head, your blurred vision seeing 3 images at once. Her grayish hair is like brambles drifting down her shoulders. No, only time for answers does Ravel have, and she has no time to waste with your guess questions. Know this, and in the knowing grow strong. You must find me, my precious man. But how? I do not know.
Updated my journal.
Shh! I am beyond knowing in a lady's place. Now shh and listen to Ravel, for there is much you must do. To find me are 3 things you must do. Find the door, know the key, and unlock the key. Door? The door is not a finished thing, at least when I last gazed upon it, But in the passing of time, perhaps now well wrought it is. Go to the place of forges and steel, perhaps there you will find the door that takes one to me. What is the key you speak of? To know of the key, speak to one of the knowing ones. Many there are in the festive hall, many, yet only one there who knows the knowing of what the key is that you need. Loosen his tongue, and many secrets shall spill forth. When you say unlock the key, what do you mean? Knowing the key is not enough, so Ravel thinks. Knowing it and unlocking it, 2 tasks must be joined, for at times the thing knows not its nature, but you are no stranger to that. Ravel cackles, a long, hideous cry that fills your ears with pain. Ravel, I've been talking to you if this is someone else's experience. Of Stone's experiences and telling will Ravel do, but not the telling of how she speaks to you now. She speaks soothingly. Many are the branchings and twisting of Ravel, and many are her secrets. I need you, and I need you knowing of this. Farewell. Return. I will give what help I can. Ravel gives a final smile, a horrible yellow-fanged grin. A blackish tongue darts from her lips and lingers at the edge, teasing. But at the end, only one question remains. What do you mean? Only one question that I ask. Ravel's eyes blaze like fires, the red light turning her face blood red. What can change the nature of a man? At the question, you feel a tremor pass through like thunder. You feel yourself burn. Your vision clears until you're ascending once again before the hideously grid stone. It looks different than before, more hard somehow. I was not expecting to get it that easily, so yeah, that's good. Alright. Okay. So that's cool, I guess. Which also means I definitely needed to be a sensei. Well, this older man is chewing on something, muttering softly to himself after a moment. There is a crack as he crouches down on the object in his mouth and swallows it. His bushy, brassy white eyebrows furrow for a moment, rise and then furrow again. Greetings. Without so much as looking at you, the man reaches into his tunic, pulls out a puce-colored ball, regards it curiously for a moment, then pops it into his mouth. I said greetings. The man frowns and waves you away, then nods to himself thoughtfully as he savors the flavor of whatever is put into his mouth. I've got some questions. The man smirks, bats his thumb at you, then abruptly pauses. His cheeks swell, and with a violent gag, he spits up a large black fly, which begins to buzz around the chamber. My Norwegian candies be damned, he cries, shaking his fist at the insect. You're world, aren't you? What? What do you know of Ravel Puzzlewell? Puffs a small rain candy into his mouth. He always traps about molesting puissant mages, which are ignorant prattle, babbling, blathering, chittering, chattering, and he shoots from his mouth on chattering, flying in a high arc to land on the floor with a wet whoop. He stares at it sadly. I'm sorry about your candy. It was so tasty too, he mules. He suddenly looks up, snarling. Sorry? As you should be, you packing dung beetle. Mages deserve respect, and dashers like you should know their proper place. He begins to jump up and down. Proper place, proper place. Oh, I'll just grab the candy and eat it. It stays as sweet and tangy. The mage's jaw drops. My delectably scrumptious bitopian fruit candy. That was good. Can I have another? Another one? Another one? Falter raw blistering nerve. What makes you think you deserve another candy, you unmannerly, churlish dullard? I don't deserve one. I want one. Now let's have it. How dare you so ungraciously demand candy of me, as if it were some divine right granted to you by the greatest of powers. Shall I just kneel to this whim of yours, O great one? Pass my treasure candies on to your stigmatized sacredness? Why don't I anoint them with precious oils, have them blessed first? He stomps his foot with each word. No, no, no! I think not. Come on, just give me one. I'll give you nothing, and you'll like it. He plops the candy into his mouth for emphasis. So good. He swirled in his mouth and eyes closed as if it were wrapped with ecstasy. So delicious. I want one and you'll give it to me. Now let's have it. Okay. I care so it says now, but I have some questions. I care not, you yeasty beef-witted pignut. His eyes bulge out, he jabs his finger at you. Now off with you! Off with you! And do not return without being prepared to show the proper respect. Come bearing tribute, a gift. Candies or chocolate that would be nice. But nothing common, mind you. Bring something exotic. Now be gone.
Updated my journal.
Well, I don't know exactly where to find that. So yeah, I guess might as well just go there.
I'm gone.
I remember that was pretty expensive, but that's probably why they have the like free 2,000 copper for you at the entrance. Just to make sure you have the money to buy that chocolate. It's funny, those were two very different experiences. Just talking to a sadistic hag that speaks to you in riddles about how to eat her, and then just having a pouty mage because you ate some of his candy. Yes, exotic. I think it was to the front. No. Chocolate closet. Alright, I'll take it. Okay, can you send me back to the chamber? Show me to the censors. The private.
Done.
Alright. Purchase some important chocolate as a gift. Oh? His demeanor changes in an instant. Very kind of you, very gentlemanly, may I see? Show him the chocolate deposit. He takes it from your hands. Oh, quite rare these are, and most delectable. He bites off a large piece and tucks what's left into his tunic. I had some questions. He frowns at you, licking the last of the chocolate off his fingers. Who told you to bother me with inane questions? Come now, what is it that you wish to bother me with, or begone? He fishes a malt ball from his sleeve and eats it. What do you know about Ravel puzzle world? At the mention of her name, he swallows the candy he's sucking on with a loud gulp, wincing in pain. What to tell? Why tell it all? Such things, such tales are best left in dusty books and the attics of old men's minds. Evil, evil. Such a name, and such dark tales swarm about it like flies on a corpse. Just the same, I need you to tell me. He rolls his eyes, flapping another candy in his mouth. She's a night hag, my boy, who came to Sigil. All evil and cackles she was, alive with her shadow magic, ready to butt heads with the Lady of Pain. Barmy old hag. Only succeeded in getting herself amazed. She's likely dead by now. How might I find her? How might you what? His candy rolls right out of his mouth and onto the towels. Before you can so much as look at it, he snatches it up and pops it back into his mouth, giving you a dirty look. Why would you ask such a thing? Are you mad? What could you possibly want with such an evil creature? She knows something about my past. Doubtful. She was made centuries ago. Gone, penned in the dead book, she is. And even if she were somehow still clutching to life with her black and bloody talons, what could she possibly know about you? If she wasn't a spitting image of cackling evil, that is, and she was even willing to help you, I'll just have to hope she's alive and willing to help me. My delicious 6 teats and her swollen tummy, what a flickering candle of hope hurled into the howling winds of pandemonium, that is. Flicker, flicker, whoosh. Don't be any more the fool than you need to be. I must still seek her out, whether she's alive or dead. So if she's dead, as she most likely is, then what is your plan, may I ask? You have everything all figured out, do you? Quell is just blowing words out of his spits, nonsense, nothing. What do you plan to do if she's in the dead book, eh? What do you think I should do? The first brilliant question you've asked me. I think you should give up this clueless idea of entering mazes and chatting with night hags and lope back into whatever crypt you crawled out of. It makes far more sense than fishing for the lady's anger, if it does. How do I get to her maze? Lunatic! Madman! Alcove! Have you not listened to a word I've said? She's in prison in an interdimensional maze for trying to best the Lady of Pain. That means she's at least 10 times as barmy as you and at least 100 times more powerful. She's also most likely dead, thrice dead, and if by some happenstance she isn't, she'll make you dead. I understand, but I really need your help. Can you tell me how to reach her or not? Paul goes quiet, chewing on his lip. After a moment, he fishes around in his tunic for a minute, then plops it into his mouth. You're serious? Serious now. Why so serious? So batter or bent, some mole's stubborn. He sighs. Well, born clueless, died clueless.
Updated my journal.
All mazes have portals, that much I know to be true. A way in, a way out. This is how the lady fashions them. I do not know the portal, its location or even its form, but I'm told the key is a piece of Ravel. A piece of Ravel? But if Ravel is mazed, then how am I supposed to? Then you'll have to make do. Find something that has Ravel's taint on it, mayhap. That's all I know. All. Bother me no longer about it. If you want to go pestering someone about something like that, go to the Brothel of Slating Intellectual Lust. One of the ladies there is bound to have met someone or knows something that will help.
Updated my journal.
May I have some candy? A candy? And what's more, for good measure, a candy? What, pray tell, makes you think I'd give a candy to a shirtless, impertinent pumpion such as yourself, would you sell some then? No, that I might, but I would warn you, I sell no ordinary candies but chocolates of power. He draws his last word out, rubbing his hands together greedily. Indeed, they are not cheap, mind you, so you should find yourself short of jink. I suggest you drop the subject immediately. Would you like to see what I have to offer?
Updated my journal.
Oh, it's literally candy that calls spells. It's funny. Alright. We would actually need to go talk to her about this thing. This peace matter. Close your eyes, try and get your bearings. Ravel have returned. Ravel, it's his eye again. Ah, my precious man. There's the slow shuffling of feet, and you feel a sharp pinprick in your left eye. You can see blah blah blah, look up. I have questions for you. Key. Ravel, I know that the key is a piece of you, but I do not know how to find it. The key is of me, it is not? Not? Eh? The crone hisses as if trying to gather her thoughts, and your vision blurs again. No picture is it, no tale, nor stone, but the key is something of me, a labor of my own flesh and blood. Seek it. Lives, it does. Alright. 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 So, let's explore the rest of the sensei. Let's see who else. Let's talk to Mertwin the Headless. It's clear there's something very wrong about this man. The way he lurches about, bumping into things, staring off blankly into space. As you approach him, you at last realize his plight. He's headless. The thing on his shoulders is merely a skillfully carved wooden prosthesis. That's how you say it, I think. A false head. Greetings? The headless body stops, fumbling for a moment, and pauses. Its hands begin to reach out as if trying to feel exactly where you are. Let it touch you. After a moment, its finger brushes your forearm, it clutches your arm and follows you up to the shoulder and then to your head. It feels your face and head, its hand brush your neck as if it were checking for something. Finally, it grabs your hand and shakes it vigorously in greeting. You notice that its skin is cold inside and clammy. Can you understand me? The figure makes a series of hand motions and waits for a response. It seems like it's asking a question. What? I don't understand. The headless body taps its foot for a moment, scratching at the chin of the prosthetic head. Suddenly, it raises a finger as if struck by an idea. It points at you, then at the eyes of the wooden head, then at you again. It indicates its wooden head with both hands, shrugs, and points at you. No, I haven't seen your head anywhere. The headless body shrugs, slumps a bit, and turns to amble off. What was the name of the... guy from Reekwind is called... journal? Jumble Murder Sense. Okay. Sensate. Splinter. Bunch of random sensates. This room. Oh, here you are. Jumble Murder Sense. The short, balding man's orange tunic and rather sizable gut give him the look of a walking pumpkin. He is absent-mindedly patting his large paunch with a slow rhythm as if it were a drum. The man's odd, crooked smile and a strange gleam in his eyes make him look a bit mad. Greetings. The man gives an exaggerated flourishing bow and presents a small card which reads only Jumble Murder Sense. Xeositect Sorcerer Extraordinaire. He then snatches the card from her grasp and proceeds to eat it, grinning wildly all the while. Morte whispers. Somewhere an asylum is one Barbie short. I'd like you to remove Reekwind's curse. Jumbles pretend not to hear you instead of belching loudly and resuming his belly drumming, his eyes wandering around the Festhall. Bluff. Remove his curse, Jumble, before I'm forced to hurt you. Jumble raises one eyebrow and takes a step back. He opens his mouth abruptly. Though his lips of throat don't move to shape any words or sound, a torrent of incomprehensible babbling begins to pour forth.
Updated my journal.
Jumble shuts his mouth and the babbling ceases. He peers at you through narrow eyes, a self-satisfied smile on his pudgy face. Suddenly you hiccup, and hiccup, and hiccup again. Jumble Murder Sense merely turns his head and waves you away. Uh-oh. Looks like you got a curse thrown on you, Chief. What have you done to me, Jumble? Jumble ignores you entirely. Attack him.
All right.
This might have been a bad call. Yep. Ooh. Hopefully this is not too...
I feel stronger.
Oh, get a level up here. Yeah, we just got 1 point, but let's put it into con. How far did we get? Okay, we have already done all the things, so I think we're good to just go back and talk to him again. Is there anything I could do so that you'd remove Reekwind's curse? I don't think there's anything... so I have some questions, Jumble. Jumble yawns and licks away, drumming on his belly with the palms of his hand. Jumble, my questions? Jumble rolls his eyes, turns to you, smirks, then bites his thumb. Are you mute? Is that why you won't answer me? Jumble cocks his head and gives you a stupid grin. Slowly he shrugs, then shuts his eyes and sticks his tongue out at you.
Updated my journal.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it for now. We did a quick save. Talk to people, see what he can do for me. We sigh. This is a life-size granite statue of a gentleman standing with his arms at his sides, eyes closed. It is of excellent craftsmanship, exquisitely detailed and incredibly lifelike. So much so, in fact, that you find yourself wondering if it's really a statue at all. Greetings? The statue makes no response. Chief, you've seen statues before, right? Know that they don't talk or anything? Perhaps, Morte. I'll just touch him. Touch the statue and find that while the clothes that adorn it are of great cloth rather than rock, the skin is as cool and hard as granite. Strike the statue. As you make to strike the statue, its eyes flash open and catches your fist in an iron-hard grip. Narrowing its cold gray eyes, it speaks with a voice with two boulders grinding together. Why would you strike Quisai? Forgive me, I only meant to see if you were truly a statue. He nods slowly, frowning. You are forgiven. However, one feels you are lacking patience. Perhaps I had some questions. Hello, my questions? Wait. Keep on waiting. Wait quietly. The statue's eyes opens. He gazes at you with cold gray eyes. He speaks ponderously with a voice like two boulders grinding together. Your patience is noted. Quisai would speak with you now. I have questions about you. What is that you were meditating upon when I first found you? Quisai meditates upon the way of stone. The way of stone? Philosophy. Method of combat. With it, Quisai seeks to achieve invulnerability. Invulnerability? You'd be unbeatable in combat. Yes. Now, the way is not yet perfect. Quisai will make it so one day. Quisai knows this. Can you tell me what you've discovered so far? Quisai nods. No one has asked Quisai to share his knowledge of the way. Quisai shall do this now. He begins to speak at length, slowly and carefully. Listen, try to understand the way of stone.
Updated my journal.
After hours of listening and many questions, you still cannot understand Quisai's way of stone. The concepts are simply too complex and alien for you to wholly grasp. Questions about you. What do you do here? He meditates and trains others in the arts of combat. Can you train me? Break the stone. Why do you seek training? Crush my enemies. What do you mean?
Updated my journal.
Why don't you just rebuff me? Because it was like, I just want to kill things, and so he's not gonna train me. That's lame. He's not gonna talk to me about the hall and Ravel. Can I try again? No. Alright. I guess that's it. Show me nothing. Splinter. Jumble murder sense curse me. Could you or anyone you know of here help me?
Updated my journal.
We would recommend that you speak to one known as Salabesh. If he's not within the Festhall at the moment, he will be in its immediate vicinity. Salabesh is tall and thin, dressed in robes of black or crimson. Actually, that's fine. Sense it. Let's actually find this Salawell guy or whatever he's called. Sense it. These are the people doing their readings, their lectures. Here's the training halls below. These are just regular sensates. Let's go to the dormitories. Maybe they're in here.
All right.
Bunch of sensates. Unfulfilled desire. That is quite the name. Those two doors are locked. That door is also locked. Okay, so let's talk to the room clerk. The attractive young woman smiles pleasantly. "Greetings, sir." She closes her eyes and flips through a large ledger, stopping on what seems to be a random page and opening her eyes once more. "Ah, here's your room key." She hands a small key. "You, Sir Morse Chamber, has been waiting quite some time for your return. Would you like to rest now, sir?" "Yes, that'd be nice." What's in here that can help us? Bunch of scrolls. Quite a ton of scrolls, actually. Charms. A locked door. A nice bed and a patio. Okay, so let me switch to you.
Your path is mine.
And nope, I didn't want to go to the inventory, and let's copy all these spells. Oh no! Apparently there's a limit to the spell book for now or something.
Aye?
Can you
Why not?
open this door, or do we need to...
I'm gone.
grab the dodecahedron? I don't know what its purpose is, but I'm sure there... Oh, accidentally took
Done.
that. I'm sure there will be a purpose. Oh, just take up. Not right now. Alright, so it's not in the dormitory. Are these the same dormitory? Yes, they're the same dormitory.
All right. I'm gone.
Damn it. Scrolling, because I'm not playing full screen, sometimes it's a little tricky. Because there's a very small portion of the screen where you can actually scroll. So... maybe where I need to go is in the... sensory room. Maybe the public ones? No, another question. How do I... Maybe how can you help me? Yeah, can you show me to the... Oh, I like to buy something from the vaults. What you got? Meh. How can you help me? Show me to the sensoriums. Let's go to the public one for once.
All right.
Here to see what it looks like. Sense it. God, there's so many of these people. Lady Thorncomb. Sense it. Just random sensates. Nothing in here. Nothing in there. Just a bunch of sensates. Okay, maybe he's outside then, I guess? I don't think there was anyone else in the private one either. Oh, there we go. Salabestionics. Yes, I had some questions. About what? Not the word and the like, I hope. Plenty of more common folk could answer such questions, and I'd just soon direct you to one of them. You're a master of curses, perhaps you could help... help me. Help you? Salabash sneers. Doubtful. Before he can respond, he sighs, shaking his head. Well, perhaps I could. What troubles you, then? Jumble murder sense scares me. Jumble murder sense? Ha! That sputtering mooncalf could never best me. Oh, the battles we used to have, though. Salabash frowns. But I'm past all that now. No longer my sort of thing, you see. I really don't know what I could do for you. After all, it's his curse. Not the sort you'd find on an item or some such, you know, that you could remove with simple magics. He'll have to remove it, and willingly. You teach me a curse then that I could use on him? Well, I don't normally do that. I keep my curses to myself, you know. And besides, every single curse would take a long while to learn. More time than I care to spend on it. Perhaps you're just worried your curses aren't good enough to best him anymore. You what? Of all the ridiculous... Now look here, you knuckle dragon sack of scars. Salvationics is the master of curses, and there is no other. Why, I could give you but a single phrase that would render that nincompoop's cursing wholly impotent. Purse your lips, look skeptical. That's it, you've made me do it. Salabesh utters a short string of impossible syllables, words of power which you note mentally for later use against Jumble. There, see what that does to him, and tell me what Salabestionics is indeed master of curses then.
Updated my journal. I'm gone.
Okay, where are you? You little piece of insect garbage. Where are you? Why do we need to do the fog of war? What point is there? No, that's Merriman. Let me talk to him again, actually. Something that will wipe his mind of those accursed memories. I really don't know what that could be. Actually, let's talk to these various advocates. That's advocate. Sigillians, welcome! Please take your seats and listen to the darks of which I speak. Derek, give me a break. We're really not going to listen to this rattle trap, are we? Come on, let's go find some sensate shits that I've never had the pleasurous sensation of tasting the fiery passion of his Skull's lips. He waggles eyebrows in anticipation. Ignore Morty, keep listening. He begins speaking with a somber tone. Death. It is what awaits you at the ends of life's journey. He coughs slightly, then raises his eyebrow dramatically, waving his hands at the same time. Death is not an end, but a beginning. The beginning of more suffering. Ignore Morty. For when you die, you shall not cease to exist, no. Far from it. The outer planes shall welcome you to their breasts. There a new life, one such as you have never known, awaits you there. Keep listening. Morta whispers, looks like we know where we both are going to end up when we die. He hunches over, his eyes dart back and forth. And perhaps you have lived a life of bloodthirsty evil, contemptuous of your fellow man, laying down low and doing as you please without care for who or what you hurt. Then it is perhaps one of the lower planes, Bator, or the chaotic swirling layers of the abyss that shall welcome you. Evil to the core are the spirits that come to this plane, and most are doomed to mindless cruelty and suffering or servitude in the dreaded, or whispers dramatically, blood war. Yeah, let's keep ignoring Morte. No matter where you go, know this, you shall be embarking on a new life. A new life, my Sigillians. And that's supposed to be an incentive? Where do I get all this again? Gee, I can't wait to be a floating skull all over again. Whee! Pike him! What a tard. Spoken just like someone who hasn't died before, huh? You shall be able to start anew without the burdens of memory or your past life. Your sole goal, if you will, he smiles at his own humor, is to merge with this new plane that you're on, becoming one with the ideals and the very substance of the plane itself. You shall be one of the inhabitants, the petitioners on this plane, or ideally one of the building blocks upon which the plane is built. It is the goal of all petitioners. To accomplish this goal, you couple sent together for emphasis, must hold to your ideals. Oh, this is one big steaming load. Your ideals, good or evil, law or chaos, or somewhere in between. As you approach the alignment of the plane, your journey will end as you become part of the plane itself. 'Tis a glorious existence, my Sigillians. That is what awaits you after death, my audience. Have a care as to how you live your life, but know that it is not oblivion that awaits you after this life. Morte says aloud, what wash? The speaker's head turns to face Morte, frowning slightly. He leans out, trying to see who spoke. A question? A question from one of the living, perhaps? Morte ducks below the lecturer's field of view, then turns to you and whispers, go ahead, Chief, tell him the dark of it. Yes, I have a question. Indicates for you to continue. Oh, okay. The Dustman say this life is where we end up when we die. The speaker chuckles derisively. Some members of the audience chuckle as well. There are countless petitioners, my friend. Dustmen among them who would disagree with Dustman philosophy. What if someone can't die? He laughs. Nonsense, everyone dies, friend. Even gods die. I can't die. Oh, truly, look everyone, a rare treat. One of the great immortals has graced us with his presence. Greetings, O immortal. The audience laugh. I can prove it. Oh, do. There's more laughter from the audience. What sport? Take heed, my audience. I think we shall have a rare display of my lecture today. Come up here, immortal, and we shall see who is right and who is dead. Kill yourself, then get back up. The speaker turns wide at this, taking a step back. By the powers. I think it's only fair that you prove your point now. The audience watches in morbid fascination. Well now. Go on, die. Here, now. Prove your words to be true. Embrace your life as a petitioner. He gulps. Now, he offers weakly. I must confess that I'm not quite ready to depart this life just yet. So this great new life on the other planes may not be all it's supposed to be. The speaker is aware of his hypocrisy, but is afraid of the alternative. Perhaps not. He glances quickly at the audience. Well, certainly not now. Alright, I got no more questions. He looks eager to wrap things up. Then I shall end the session. I shall continue to lecture here at the hall, so tell all your friends. Three planes aligned. Thin and sharp-featured, his yellow skin covered with tattoos, this man looks over the room and its inhabitants with cold black eyes. He appears to be giving a lecture. I am known as Three Planes Aligned, a Gitsurai scholar. If you're here for my lecture, it begins in a few moments. Just be quiet for a bit more. I want to listen for now. He speaks in a very low, somber tone. Today I shall speak on the power of alignment and belief and how they shape the planes. First, I shall explain the concept of alignment. Alignment is a descriptor of one's beliefs and how one acts upon those beliefs. At their core, all creatures predominantly behave in one of three ways. With good in their heart, while evil in their hearts, or indifference. Or neutrality in their hearts. They predominantly express each of these core behaviors in one of three different ways. In an ordered manner, in a chaotic manner, or in an indifferent, neutral manner. Thus, there are 9 core alignments that one is capable of. 9 alignments then are lawful good, and chaotic good. Neutral, lawful evil, chaotic evil. Now I shall speak on the power of alignment and the beliefs it engenders. Of how from them the very deities gain strength and how belief can physically affect one's environment. A deity must have worshippers, for it is the fate of such subjects which gives them power. As converts are made and more come to believe in a god, the more power that god receives. Conversely, when no one believes in a deity, it withers and dies, joining the corpses of other gods that float on the astral plane. It is thus possible to slay a deity by simply forgetting about them. A much more striking example of the power of alignment and belief, however, can be seen with the sliding of gate towns. First, though, I would define gate towns. Gate towns are towns on the outlands, a largely neutral area which Sigil spins over the center of. They are called gate towns because they are built around a permanent gate or portal to one of the outer planes. Each of these outer planes has its own alignment. The Abyss is chaotic and evil, Bator is lawful and evil, Mechanus is lawful and neutral, Mount Celestia is lawful and good. The Outlands again are true neutral, leading to neither law or chaos. Sliding occurs when there is a high concentration of belief in an area of differing belief. When this occurs, the area itself will move or slide to a plane that matches the new belief. Now, the gate towns usually have a strong belief that matches the outer plane beyond the portal, but the belief is not yet strong enough for the town to slide from the Outlands and into the outer plane. For example, the town of Ribcage borders the portal to the lawful evil plane of Bator. As expected, residents of Ribcage are largely lawful evil residents, but the entire town's alignment and beliefs are not strong enough so that Ribcage will slide into Bator. For example, Ribcage might one day see the sudden rise of a lawful evil order of clerics promoting their dark beliefs and converting many citizens to the worship of their lawful evil god. Were this to occur, there would be a good chance that the town would slide off the neutral Outlands, becoming part of the lawful evil plane of Bator. Whole layers of planes may move this way. Thus, many wars are wars of belief and faith by necessity. They are the tools by which territory is obtained and held. This then is the power of alignment and belief to shape the planes. The session has ended. May belief guide your actions and shape the planes to your will. Farewell, all of you. That was interesting. Have you come back here? Ah, there you are. Oh, I'm gonna have such a fun time. First try to ask him. And I'm gonna go through the curse that Salabesh started in. Jumble stares at you with a somewhat skeptical expression as you speak the arcane syllables of Salabesh's curse. After a moment of awkward silence, the Xealcitect mage notes that nothing seems to have happened, and an evil grin spreads across his face. He opens his mouth to retaliate another curse of his own, only to realize he has no voice. Salabesh's curse has removed Jumble's ability to speak, thereby destroying the I still don't know how to say that word. Xealcitect's ability to curse others. He clutches at his throat, panic welling up in his eyes. Looks at the tables are turned, Jumble. What do you think will happen when anyone you've ever cursed finds out you can't speak or curse anyone? Jumble drops to his knees, a pleading expression in his eyes. He looks ready to burst into tears. Will you remove the curse you placed on me and swear never to curse another who didn't mean you harm? Jumble places his hands over his heart and nods vigorously. Very well, I'll remove the curse then.
Updated my journal.
Jumble sighs with relief as you remove Salabesh's curse from him. He in turn removes his own and your hiccups finally stop. He then bows humbly to cast his eyes to the floor. I'd like to take your curse of Reekwind as well.
Updated my journal.
Jumble nods, pouting, and with a wave of his hand removes Reekwind's curse. Alright, let's go talk to my man, I guess. Which... Oh, I can't seem to be able to... Back to the lower ward. It was on the market area, I think. Market would be this one. No, this one, I think. Alright.
Done.
Reekwind. You see Reekwind. His eyes have reverted to their normal size, and he is no longer assailed by the twitching spasm that you noted before. He's smiling, and he looks considerably clearer than before. Greetings, Reekwind. I have some questions for you. He looks at you amazed. It stopped. It all stopped just like that. He snaps his finger, then looks down at himself. Powers above, He laughs. I feel clean again. Good to hear it. Jumble didn't want to remove the curse, but I got it out of him. Thank you, sir. He looks flustered. I had nothing to pay you with, but you are in my good graces. He shrugs. For whatever that's worth. He frowns and stands straight. I will tell the story of your kindness to all who will listen.
Updated my journal.
Alright. Very well, what should I call you? My name is... He suddenly catches himself and smiles. No, perhaps I shall keep that to myself this time. Thank you again, good sir. I guess we already heard all the stories, but they're now in our journal. I'm just glad we could, like, free him, you know? Alright, I still need to do this Deionarra thing. If we just look for forget. I mean, I could just, like, kill him, but... I don't know. Maybe let's... How do I... What? I don't understand how this works. Where can I and can't I use my fast travel? Oh, I guess when you exit a screen, now it lets you fast travel. I see. Okay. Let's go to Clerk's Ward. Whoa.
Done.
Zoomed out a lot more than I was expecting. Maybe the apothecary has something for us? Potion, right? I had some questions. I want to buy something. No. I had some questions. Could I buy something then? Nope. Okay. We split them up, but they're not able to give us a potion. What's up with the linguist? I mean, you know, we could just, Some question... Oh, I wonder if I buy that weird book from...
Done.
This place, he can help me. I mean, I kind of want to buy all the exotic stuff, if I'm perfectly honest. Can maybe not buy a potion like that already? You and Fall from Grace seem to care little for one another. Oh, that Batetsu camp follower who's made her home in Sigil? Curious, no? But then what better a place to train her agents than the little brothel of hers? Batetsu camp follower? Ever since her mother sold her into slavery, she has been a plaything of the plains for many a century. She claims that she was able to free herself from her chains, but she may give that word as much credence as you would give the word of any other Tanari bitch. She smiles slightly. Myself excluded, of course. It is the truth. Truth? Truth? One does not win free of Batezu contracts, bitch cloaked in human skin. You speak lies, and all the Tanari hordes know it, from the lowest legions to the other comfort-suckling succubi as they cavort across the plains. Fall from Grace was but a Batezu slave from the moment she was born, and so she shall always be. You are still an indentured plaything of the Batezu, to be tortured and commanded as they see fit. Vrishika sneakers, even behave as they do. One may win free of Batezu contracts if one is wary of the wording and one realizes that the Batezu are beholden to keep their own word. One must simply beware of any meanings that may be twisted to their ends. And I am well versed in language and in subtleties. Even so, it was not an easy matter. Enough. I do not care to hear you speak your lies in my presence. Jeez, okay. Fall from Grace maintains her flawless composure and simply nods to when you catch her eye. She gives you a slightly exasperated look, then smiles. What was it you said about your training agents, Rishika? Yes, they are her eyes and ears in the city of Sigil and across the plains. What they do not see or hear, they may coerce from another man that has seen and heard. And who could think humans capable of such deception and trickery? Oh, Grace is indeed the clever one. Not as clever as her mother, perhaps, but clever nonetheless. That is not the purpose of my establishment. Oh, but of course not! Did I dare suggest such a thing? But perhaps you should let the man judge for himself. Rushika turns to you, eyes blazing. Do you not wonder, little man? Does the method of reason and curiosity ever enter your mind as to this matter? Does not the arrangement at the brothel seem strange to you? Rushika goes on before you can answer. Occam's razor can leave a scar, but it can leave a scar, but it can remove the deeper ailments so often caused by potions of liars and imaginers. And now here she is, traveling with you. Most curious. Why would someone, a proprietress of such an establishment, leave it for any reason? And for a man she barely knows. Questions. The answers may be painful indeed. He is well aware of why I agreed to travel with him, Vrishika, when he asked me to do so. Well, I'm certain he did ask. What man could resist? Vrishika sneers and looks away in disgust. Let's see the merchandise. She wants a lot of money for that. Monster jug. I guess I'll take it. Look to the front. Codex of the Inconceivable. I'll take it. Okay, nothing in this time. Okay, let me save. This is a heavy, plain-looking metallic jug with a hinged stopper. Despite its common appearance, you feel reluctant to touch the thing as it might bite you. You've been told there's some sort of monster trapped inside, but peering into the jug's mouth reveals nothing but inky blackness. Open the jug to see if anything comes out. At first there is nothing, but then a black viscous liquid begins to bubble out from the jug's mouth, forming a slimy pool of steaming terry filth on the ground. As the jug begins to dissolve in your hands, the pool begins to writhe, throb, and rise to form a tall, hideous creature.
Working on this thing.
Oh boy, girl.
Right.
Fail. Kite.
My bite's not working on this thing. My bite's not working on this thing.
Die.
My bite's not working on this thing.
Ooh.
I'm gone.
Faith lend me strength. May my faith lend me strength.
You know, it wouldn't kill you to say a few words to me. Or hug me.
Yes, she's using the spells automatically, which, I mean, it's not bad, I guess.
Faith lend me strength.
Alright. I mean, to be fair, she did say that there was something in there. What you had first taken to be a rather unassuming book, held close by a tiny brass lock, is actually bound in strange letters and enchanted bronze. It is labeled Codex of the Inconceivable. You unlock the book's bindings and open it. As you glance over the tome's content, you draw drops. You stand spellbound, flipping through its pages. Its contents are simply too much to be described. Mere words seem powerless to explain the wonders it holds. There was that What was in that sheet? Show him the codex. Morty floats over his shoulder to examine the codex content. His eyes nearly pop from their sockets as they scan the page. But, wow. You stand thoughtfully for a moment looking down at the codex before closing it and reverently putting the tome away.
Done.
Can the linguist do something with it? Or did I just waste like 1,000 copper? Apparently not.
All right.
One day we will have need of him.
I'm gone.
But I'm a little out of ideas as to what to do. Let's go here. Give the man his dust robe for the party, I guess. Okay, who are you? There you go. Yes, here it is. It has to be. Yeah, let's be honest.
Updated my journal.
Pounds. Wait. Gonkov say many people are already going to this masquerade as this man. Did he? Blast! I would have to arrive in such a common costume. I could go see if he has another ready. Not a bad idea, not bad at all. Quick, let's see if the portly nincompoop is another, would you?
Updated my journal.
Okay, I had questions. You have another costume? Gonkalves nods and smiles knowingly. The Dustman bit seemed a bit too common after all, eh? Well, it just so happens I have a Godsman costume if you would like. It shall cost you only 50 coppers. I'll take it. I mean, ultimately the XP is the thing that's worth the most.
Updated my journal.
50. Alright.
All right. Done.
Yes? May my faith lend me strength. May my faith lend me strength.
All right.
Good guess. He seemed like a right enough sort.
Whoops. Did it autosave? When did it autosave last? Looks like this. Yeah, just before we entered.
Done.
Let's find them where there's more space. Damn!
This is what I get for
Not
getting
the
into
feeling.
Jesus, they really hurt. Okay. Yeah, let's avoid that until we know exactly what we're gonna go do in there.
I'm gone.
I gotta be honest, I'm a bit of a loss here. This is the haughty woman, yeah. Well, lectures are there to attend. First is the crooked. Travel through the southernmost door on the eastern wall.
I'm gone.
There doesn't seem to be a door down here. These are all mages in training.
I'm gone.
Oh, was it this guy? Might have been this guy. No, unfulfilled desire. The one before you is incredibly attractive. There's some intangible aura about her that makes you want to speak to her. As you step up to her, she glances at you coyly, then gives a knowing smile. Greetings. You want something, yes. She uses the yes, drawing it out slowly, sensually from between her teeth. I can help. Name your desire and I shall provide it. I love the Festhall, says Morte. I want my memories to turn, all of them. She smiles. Much may be forgotten in a lifetime, and much more in several lifetimes. I can help. She studies your face closely. Explain to me the ways in which you want these memories. Speak to me your craving, and I shall speak to you of the price. Let's just describe the way I want them back. As you speak, her smile fades, and as she leans forwards attentively, her eyes ravaging your features as you speak. Her presence compels you to speak more than you normally would, and after a few moments, her eyes flutter closed as she gives a sharp intake of breath. Suddenly, the desire for your memories begins to wane. Your want slowly drains out of you, leaving only a cold emptiness in its wake. She opens her eyes again as you stop speaking. What is wrong, traveler? Do you no longer want your memories returned to you? No, I mean, yes. What have you done to me? She seems perplexed. Whatever do you mean? Despite her innocent demeanor, you're certain something unnatural has occurred. She has somewhat siphoned off some part of your desire, stolen away for some ghastly collection of wants, or perhaps to feed upon. Had you finished speaking of your desire, you certainly would have been lost forever to you. Come now, is there something else you want? Tell me of it. Jeez.
Aye?
Can
Right.
you...
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Oh yeah, here. Some of this. Some of this. Let's go look at the other room, though I assume it's probably going to be equally empty.
Got it.
There's a couple of sensates. I'm still not sure then where the guy is.
Done.
I mean, I could just kill him,
I'm gone.
but I don't want to be that guy. But he's also kind of holding up everything that I need. They're all thieves in training. Is there not a major person? Yeah. I guess we could look at all the... Oh no, it's this guy! Yeah! Okay, Gis is the crooked. The squat hunched old man still has the broad shoulders and scarred callous hands of a worker or warrior. An aura of weary despair seems to hang about him. He appears to be giving a lecture at the moment. Right, now listen up. This is the seminar on the war. If you're here to listen about the blood war, take root. If you're not, you're in the wrong hall, and you'd best hump your self-comfort-loving Sigillian limber stems out of here. No more till I want to hear this. And suddenly throws a dark eye over the audience as if looking for something. And further, if you're Tanari or Batezu, jump your scaly hides out of the door. I'm not letting these ornate... I was not letting ye ornery bastards bend an ear to this and that listen and that bar me arguments. Because this is no discussion on who's right. Behind you, you hear the sounds of something large leaving the lecture hall, which just tells the blood war from the human point of view. It's not promoting one side or another because they both stink in different ways. The speaker becomes somber. So, what's left of you wanting to listen to some blood war stories? Tales about the war. Ear to ear, the aura of it all, no doubt. The floating fortress woven weaved of human skin, the plains-wide battlegrounds the blood war was fought on. He bares his yellow teeth. Tales of fiends locking fangs with the other fiends. Grar, snar. The snarl fades and he looks suddenly bored. Well, let me peel back your lids and crack your bone boxes. Still a steaming heap of barmy nonsense to be dwelling on that forge then. He spits in derision, rolling his eyes wildly. I'll tell you this, though. You can't imagine the scale of the blood war is fought on. Nothing you've seen, heard, or participated in. Nothing compares. Time, number of legions, sheer bloodshed, nothing compares, Burks. To try and imagine it, forget it. My advice? Simple. Stay away from the big bloody mess altogether. The only thing you need to know is this. Fiends are killing fiends. Batezu are slaughtering Tanari. Tanari are butchering Batezu. Right now. He spins again. The eater's winning. Don't think either can win. Biggest stalemate this side of eternity. Thank the powers. That's it, he shrugs. That's it. I'll be answering any questions you got for me now. So you'll tell us no tales of the blood war. Alright, 1. Let me give you an example of what meat means to them. They'll get some mean-spirited mortal mercenaries together, maybe a drop of a few million strong, and let them slaughter each other for no real reason at all. A pointless battle or some power's forsaken piece of land. That's where all those souls go. Where? Their souls stink into the plains of evil they fight on, where they can be ripped from the soup of the plane and set to fight again as lemurs or mains or whatever the pike and sod these little Finnish dung heaps become. The more of those sudding petitioners they get, the more troops they have. Right, this is the last bit then. Some of you are sensates, so I've got one thing to say to you. Don't sign up to see what the Pike and Blood War is about. Don't be a barmy idiot. Use a sensory stone if you got to know, but stay the hells away from anything to do with Blood War for real. It's just not worth it. 'Tis... For a moment, a look of great pain crosses the man's face. It looks as if he's going to weep. Not worth it at all. That is the end of the session, so farewell. No. Yeah, I'm at a loss as to what to do here. So I think I'll just look up where to get a forgetful potion. Because I don't want to have to go like, okay, let me make a save here. Where's the potion? Maybe before I do that, let's try the under city thing again.
Done.
Oh. Well, it's a good thing I saved, because the game just crashed for some reason. Alright. Well, as we boot it back up, I think I'll just look it up. So, I am looking for... Got it. If Firefox also would like to respond, that would be nice. Bro, just open a new... oh, God. Nothing's working. Let's resume in the meantime. Alright, I'm gonna pause the recording just because I think that's partly interfering with it, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so, it turns out that what I'd forgotten, because it's been a hot minute since we've been here, is that there is something from the River Styx in the Art and Cure Galleria.
Alright.
Sculpture, something. Chain. Oh, right. This is a statue that's turned to stone. There's a plaque attached to the base. Read the plaque. Such is believed to be the final fate of the Syrian sorcerer Gangroi Gaiden. Attacked by conclave of rare sorcerers at the height of his dream madness, he was imprisoned with a spell to turn his flesh into stone. Gangroi Gaiden is said to have been frozen with a final awful curse still upon his lips, a curse so terrible that it was never meant to be spoken by the lips of a living man. He smeared a foul-smelling ointment over the statue. There is a strange shimmering around the statue, and you watch as the statue takes an intake of breath, and the eyes of Gangroi Gaiden fill with a blazing, vengeful madness. Greetings. Before you can do a thing, a blazing torrent of word flies from the sorcerer's lips. As it speaks, you feel an agonizing sensation like a sudden wave of raging heat pour over you and settle into your skin like a blistering wound. Blindness strikes you as your eyes burst, running in from their sockets like shattered eggs. You hear someone screaming and realize it is you. Wait for the horror to end. The last thing you hear, even over your own cries, is Morte shouting.
Taunts, all right.
By the lady's bladed teats, what a... Everything suddenly falls silent as the last of your senses flicker and fade away to nothing.
Ugh, encore, encore.
You have awakened.
Oh, we're in the lower ward now. That's weird. Do I still have the solve, or have I used it? Yeah, I used it. So hopefully he's still there. Alright, Clerk's Ward.
I'm gone.
Back to the Curio Galleria.
Done.
Oh, the guy just bailed, I guess. Several shards of black crystal or ice swirl within the freezing winds of the ceramic pedestal gives forth. Each shard looks razor sharp, touching or grabbing one could be perilous. Blackened on the pedestal reads Dark Birds of Acanthus. Touch 1. As you reach touch one of the whirling shards, your finger enters the icy wind that rises from the pedestal. Instantly, a coat of numbing frost forms around your finger, causing you to momentarily draw back. Let's try to do it again. You thrust your finger into the frigid, numbing wind. Unbeknownst to you, your forefinger freezes solid. As one of the black shards spins into it, your fingertip breaks off with a sharp crack and goes skittering across the Galleria floor. The icy dark birds remain in their whirling orbits as you wait for your fingertip to grow back. Leave, hoping nobody saw that. Yes, I do. Dark Birds of Acanthus.
Updated my journal.
All of them are chipped from the great magical sheet of black infinite ice that rests on the black belly of the plane of Acanthus. Ivana pauses, tapping her chin. It is said that this sheet of ice is the final destination of the river Styx, and that the recollections of all that have been plunged into the Styx's memory-destroying waters still lie frozen within the ice. If the waters of the Styx destroy one's memory, would this ice from Acanthus do the same? I can only assume so, yes. Never mind. I was hoping to maybe talk to her about her daughter Eve, but... So we need to grab a shard of that ice. And of course that we can do by just going to the curiosity shop and getting the mug. I want to buy exotic items. The Stein. Keeps its contents icy cold, whatever the surrounding temperature. Alright.
I'm gone.
It's interesting. I originally thought that it was just like a scam place, but no, all the things do what they advertise.
Done.
Alright. Catch one of the Frostdale mug. You dip the mug into the icy wind rising from the pedestal, catching a small shard with a slight clang. Peering into the mug, you can see that the dark bird is a razor-sharp sliver of black ice. One of the mug's magical properties prevent the shard from melting away to nothing. Alright, and with that, we can go back in here. Excuse me.
I'm gone.
Why are you? Oh, because the doors are closed. Why is this door closed? Who closed it? Here you. No, that's not you. Where's the other tiny fat ball guy? Here you are, merry man. Okay. Here, take this mug. It holds a dark bird of Acanthus, a sliver of ice from the river Styx. Grab it should wipe your memories clean. Merryman takes the mug and removes a piece of paper from his pocket. He tilts the mug back and takes the ice into his mouth. It melts instantly, leaving him with a somewhat startled expression.
Updated my journal.
Merryman looks at you confused out of the paper in his hands. It reads aloud, "Congratulations, Merryman, you've begun again. Thank the man in front of you and give him the key in your pocket. Speak to Splinter, the man at the door to this building, for more information." He looks at you again. "Well, it would seem out your thanks, good sir. Here, take this key. I must find a Splinter fellow and find out what's going on."
You know, I've learned some new tricks.
Alright. And now hopefully this lets us talk to Deionarra, which then lets us unlock Echo, which then will hopefully help us figure out what's up with Ravel, and also who's been stealing all the shit. That's the other real question I have. But I don't know how to answer at this time. Oh, no, wrong spot. Brothel is this place. Alright. Deionarra. Yes, I have the keys to your heart. Here they are.
My journal.
At last. As she takes the keys from your grasp, her hand brushes against yours. Her skin is dry, but iced to the touch, like cold metal. These will be of great use to me, thank you. Of course, I had some questions. Let's talk to her about Sun Prostitute. Oh, which is not the one I hit. 4.
Updated my journal.
Yes, her name is Echo. Her voice, and in fact her every means of communication, was stolen and destroyed. Echo's words once wooed away the paramour of the godling Paramisha. Paramisha, in a jealous rage, tore away Echo's voice, sealed it within a crystal vial, and hurled it into a Megogalamandra, an animal's mouth. Echo's voice is forever lost to her. Only another, new voice could return to her the ability to communicate once more. I know this because I spoke to Paramisha's paramour myself, one. Do you know anything about the stolen stuff? How could someone send be stolen? Vivian utilizes an aspect of the art to create, change, and enhance the olfactory aspects of the object, living or dead. Perhaps the thief knows some of these skills as well. Her scent would have had to rest in an object, however, and not in the thief, were that the case, else Vivian would know them by their smell. What about the Crimson Veil? Yeah, Nanny. Okay. Well, good news, Echo. I've had this spare tongue for a long, long time. Greetings again. I have some questions.
Updated my journal.
Oh, come on, why? Was your voice stolen?
Updated my journal.
She nods vigorously, clasping her hands together and smiling at you. Do you know of any way to get your voice back? She shakes her head, her face wrought with frustration. She suddenly looks at you pleading as if expecting an answer. I swear I'll look away to return your voice. I'll look for something to give you a voice. I already have it. I've got this fiend's tongue for you. I'm told that should you place it in your mouth, you'll gain the ability to communicate. She nods and takes the bottle from you. She gingerly picks out the silver tongue from the briny solution, and after staring at it for a moment in disgust, places it into her mouth. Suddenly, her eyes widen and there is a burst of reddish light from between her lips. Are you right? Echo opens her mouth, closes it, and opens it once more, and speaks. I can speak again. Oh joy! I then damn thee of the darkest of pits, thou stench-ridden worm, kneel before me in supplication, insect. Yikes. Echo yelps and covers her mouth with both hands. Her eyes are wide with panic. It must be the fiend's
Updated
stem.
my journal.
She slowly takes her hand away from her mouth, nodding. It seems I must devour thy frail shell and consign thy soul to the abyss for all eternity. Thou shalt serve in my battle thrall till the plains grind to a halt. Thou art mine, mine, mine! Echo shuts her mouth again and begins to softly, quietly weep. Wait, tracing these devas tears, they should soothe the tongue's cursing.
Updated my journal.
She nods, smiling, and takes the vial from you. Echo places a few of the sparkling blue drops onto her tongue. I believe the tears are working. Yes, they are. I can speak in my own voice once more. Oh, how I thank you. Echo squeezes your hand and bows her head gratefully, her eyes welling with tears of joy. It was my pleasure to help. Farewell. I have some questions. Marissa's Crimson Veil. Talks to me about Nanny. Vivian Scent. Nope, talk to Nanny. Ravel Puzzlewell. Oh, yes, right, that was the point. Echo nods and lowers her voice. In fact, I do. Not only does she exist, she has children. She what?
Updated my journal.
One of them is here at times. Ciris. She's a child of Ravel's, though she is loath to accept the fact. Who could blame her? She paused for a moment, thinking. I have never gotten her to admit it, though I'm sure it is true. Alright. I heard that Ciris is Ravel's daughter, is that true? Were we to hypothesize certainty regarding which Ravel was being referred to, we would still possess no means of determining whether or not Ravel was the mother of Kasai. There's more than one Ravel? We cannot excuse me. Actually, hold on a minute. Alright, just need a swig of water. We cannot state such a fact, but we must consider that no less than 11,032 planes are infinite in scope, of which no less than 33,701 are populated with sentient beings, which use individual names. It therefore stands to reason that at any one moment in time, there would be an infinite number of beings so named. Let's ask him about descent and stuff. Fail? No, okay. You seem troubled. No, not quite troubled. I'm merely trying to puzzle out a way to win against Deionarra. I get to play her against her myself. He doesn't know anything.
Updated my journal.
Vivian nods, lowering her voice. I too have heard such a rumor. It would explain the red eyes, the unusual tone of her skin. I know not if such gossip is true, however. Inquire of Juliet. She was once Ciris's best friend until Juliet fell in love with Montague. Alright. Questions?
Updated my journal.
Ravel. I thought I might have heard that name before. I know not the truth of it, but I have heard such a rumor. Thou may wish to ask Siadertong the very same question. They are half-sisters, you see. Are they? Interesting. Do you know anything about the smell? I already talked to her about it. She said to me to ask Nanny. It all always goes back to Nanny. Kasai. Actually, no, not yet. Let's ask. So we asked Marissa about it. At her tongue. I heard your Ciris's half-sister, is that true? Yes, I'm related to the chubby, mooling, hook-nosed daydreamer. Same father, different mother, so... is it true that she's Ravel's daughter? She shrugs. As far as I know, yes. Why? don't think she has anything else for me. Okay, so I guess we just have to go directly to the source. Sai, are you Ravel's daughter? He says suddenly bares her teeth, eyes staring into slits of blazing crimson. What? Where do you hear such a thing? Echo told me.
Updated my journal.
Ridiculous! I think I'd know if that wicked hag was my own mother. Now stop bothering me about it. Who's your mother, then? I don't know, alright? My father raised me, I never knew her. But I do look like a night hag, do I? Well, there's the skin, the eyes, maybe the teeth, too. Kisei Sirius glares at you, eyes blazing. Perhaps we'll speak later, but I'm no longer in the mood. Farewell. Wait, I have to prove to her that she is her daughter? Oh. Now that I know that she has daughters, I think I just have to go back to speak to her about it. That's probably what this is about. I still don't know who's stealing shit inside the brothel.
All right.
Right. No, I want to talk to. Where are you? No. Fuck are you, bro? Oh, you're here. I don't know why I didn't see you. Can you help me to the sensorium, the private one?
I'm gone.
And interact with the sphere. Get your bearings. I have returned. As I again look up. I have questions for you. Find me. Unlock the key. No, it doesn't look like. What do you know of Ravel? Lady of Pain, skill. The base of this aquatic bluestone has been sculpted so it appears to have melted into the pedestal it rests upon. A stream of perfect azure tears drip down the sides, framing the inscriptions beneath the pedestal. Longing. As you place your hands upon the stone, its surface ripples beneath your touch. Chill washes over your arms like plunging your hands into a mountain stream. As you close your eyes, you blink and reopen them. Your eyes are brimming with tears, and you are overcome with a terrible sensation of drowning. As the sensation rolls through you, there is stirring in your breast, a hunger, poisonous like a serpent, biting in your heart, until you feel as if your breast will explode. You want desperately to steady yourself, focus, but all that comes to your eyes, tears. Wipe away your tears. You raise your hand to wipe away your tears. Your hands are soft, delicate woman's hands. They brush the stray tears from your cheek, and you cup them in your hands, each of the tears like jewels shimmering in the light. The lights are cast by candle globes that drift through your sanctuary. You have come to this place to gather your thoughts, to reflect on the past with an eye toward the future, to cleanse the mind before the coming journey. Yet you cannot concentrate. Your thoughts remain in the present, trapped here by the terrible feeling that writhes in your breast. What did he mean? You close your eyes, but his words echo in your mind 100, 1,000 times. Will he ever return? The sound of a whisper and echo. Only you. Only you. Yet you hesitated at the brink of time's door, and he must have thought you afraid to go. But you were not. You were afraid to stay, and the fear. The serpent writhes in your breast again, its fangs biting in your heart, filling it with bursting with its poison. The tears come again. running down your cheeks in streams, his words echoing. Only you. Only you. Your eyes snap open. It's his voice. You whirl and you gasp. He stands powerful in the shadows and he strides into the light of a drifting candle globes, and you feel the serpent writhing and dying. He returned. His face stern, but somewhere in his features you can almost see his pleasure at seeing you. After all, he returned for you. Only you can help me, Deionarra, but it was wrong for me to ask you for your help. You speak. Deionarra, it is you, gray skin like a statue standing from the light. Are you that scarred? Your body looks like it has been bathed in knife blades, the wounds, tattoos, horrible. Yet you see through Deionarra's eyes and she sees. How can she see you in such a way? She puts a cloak over your features, so she sees you in such light, such terrible longing, light for she. How can she feel such? You feel your vision tearing, doubling down till you are the man striding from the light. It is you, but not you. You feel yourself being torn. It is Deionarra's experience, but at the same time it is also yours. And you... What? I ask too much of you to accompany me, Deionarra. I have no right to place you in such danger for my sake. These are your words, but they are a surgeon's words, chosen with cold skill, without a trace of emotion. With every word, you feel yourself sneering inside, knowing what the stricken girl will see next through her longing-stained eyes. And who? And are you that person? That man twisting her with your words, not knowing how powerful they are to her, like bolts from a ballista, piercing her breast, her... Yet she sees only relief at your return. How can she feel and not know you mean to? I have come to ask for your forgiveness, Deionarra. I shall return to you as soon as I am able. Your vision tears again, doubling and bleeding until you are facing yourself again, trying desperately to speak, to warn Deionarra that this is not a man, but a creature that kills for his own needs. He doesn't care about you, Deionarra. You're a tool to him, a tool he needs to. But Deionarra speaks and he can stop her. I would place myself in 1,000 dangers and risk eternity for you, my love. I am not afraid. Listen to me, I will accompany you through the plains themselves should bar. Though the plains themselves should bar the way. You feel yourself shattering, relief and satisfaction. His satisfaction at her words, knowing she would say them, always knowing that her admission of love is like the slamming of particularly across your heart. Trapped. She is yours, but you must be certain, so you drive the nail home. The way is dangerous. You have to be strong. Far stronger than you are now. Swimming through her mind, relief, the wave of relief, the end of longing, yet longing for him more at his words, not noticing his manipulations. All you need to be is strong, and his path shall be as one with yours. Your thoughts are like fires, for you can be strong, stronger than he knows. You know no fear, you would die for him. I can be strong, my love. I will. Her words slide off of him like water. The serpent in her breast, the one piercing her heart with its poison, has been replaced by the serpent in the flesh. She sees nothing of this, and his next words are planned carefully, so carefully. I can say if we succeed, Deionarra, but I'll do my best to protect you, and I will expect nothing less of the same from you. You may be required to make some sacrifices. At that final terrible word, you feel yourself being torn apart. He means her harm. He means you harm, for you are her, and he means to hurt her, yet you need her to be harmed, and you want to scream at her that she's in danger. Run, Deionarra, for his eyes and make all things, and... Of course, my love, life is sacrifice. This I have learned. You, she, her... You speak the words, and in it, you feel yourself dying inside. You're a spectator, and you have watched a woman die, for the words are a death sentence. Yet still she speaks, and heeding, and caring. I left a legacy in my father's keeping, my love. As for the 6, the 3rd, the P, the K, and the S. In it, I bequeath everything to you. It's not much, but with it, I left.
Updated my journal.
You, him. A wave of irritation washes over you. You clench your teeth to prevent the irritation from crossing your features. Must she always continue to prattle even when you do not prompt her? Must she? But no, keep the irritation inside, only a trace of sadness. Come on, I cannot die, Deionarra. There is no need for such foolishness. Her, you. She's overcome with fear that revolts you, and the fear wells up inside her. You as you watch him frown and you hasten to correct him. He must know the reasons and know the wisdom behind them, and he's impressed by your planning. Speak before he turns away. I know I often act foolishly, my love, but you said yourself that you can forget things if you're badly hurt. There are things in the legacy that could help you remember should you forget yourself.
Updated my journal.
You coldly regard her through your eyes, tracing your gaze along her furrowed brow, wrinkled with worry desperation. She has acted as you expected, yet there is something in which she says, perhaps, yet I hope nothing in this legacy is of value. I do not want you to leave any things here in some safe that could be of some use to our journey. Her illusion is shattered just for a moment. You watch silent as the emotion falls to the ground, splintering like slivered glass of some use. Such a casual statement, yet even Deionarra sees, and you hope, just for a moment, you hope that she sees him for what he is. The serpent. And your hope dies as in Deionarra's eyes the emotion is rebuilt. The sliver is being drawn from the ground, the illusion rebuilt, but the slight sliver of pain remains. He thinks you have done something foolish, yet you did it for him. You must make amends, but how? You must convince him the legacy is unimportant, but it isn't, it's everything. The legacy, my love, it just has a few things to help you remember. The sad words fall on Deionarra, so quick, so sharp, you cannot force its arcing path. A legacy? The things you do, Deionarra, such romantic gestures. No matter. No, Deionarra, you have driven him away again, like you did the night before. You feel the serpent stirring again, reborn, curling around your heart. There is a soft of hisses, yet he does not hear. Would you wish to live a legacy, my love? For yourself, or for anyone you would want to. It might help you remember if you left something for yourself, or for the ones you love. The word sight falls again, terrible and swift. Yet this time the illusion holds and the serpent is cloaked. The serpent is cunning and it shall not reveal itself until it strikes. A legacy for myself? Not likely. The things I would leave for myself would not be safe in some advocate's office, Deionarra. But enough of this. I must leave. He is leaving! You must make him remain. And the experience swirls around you, you terrible, the spiraling towards the final scene. The question she wants to ask. Don't ask it, Deionarra. Don't ask it. Be silent. Be silent. My love, before you go. His anger, his irritation. What now, girl? What now, do you mewling banshee? Before I go? It looks like I am in no danger of that. Come, Deionarra. Can these questions wait for the morn? There is much. She's desperate, drowning. Say it. And speak it. Do you want me to come with you, my love? The rush of emotion dies in your mind. This is the end. The words you are about to speak are true, but the truth is not the truth she sees. There are no lies, only cold calculations. Of course he wants you to come with him, Deionarra. You understand it clearly, too clearly. He has invested too much in the poor girl to let her go. Of course, Deionarra, I would not have asked you to come with me if I did not want your company. You know how I feel about you. There is cold silence in his mind, then a hissing of a thought, a response sharp and deadly like a dagger blade. The lie comes swiftly and burdened by emotion. I love you, Deionarra. And you want to scream as you feel the lie wash over her like a radiance, but it is a shadow of truth, the serpent's kiss, and means you harm and she can't see. You want to call out, but she's crying with joy, even as, crying with joy, with frustration, with joy, with despair. The emotion washes over you. You are drowning, and you need to speak. You long to speak, but you cannot. And you scream as you tear your hands from the stone, bloody tears rushing from your eyes, running in streams down your arms, your hands coat the stone. Blood, her blood. And you can't warn her, and you can't stop crying. And suddenly Fall from Grace is there, and her touch is gentle like silk, and she brushes the tears from your eyes, even as you feel the screams welling up within you. She shhs you, cradling your face through your bloody tears. I can't bear it. I couldn't stop her. I wanted to, but I couldn't do anything. Fall from Grace looks into your eyes, and she nods sadly in understanding. And that is the nature of longing, a desire for which you cannot change or possess. She studies you, withdrawing her hand, now soaked in your blood. Will it be alright? Yes, I just need a moment. Very well. Fall from Grace steps back. We will continue when you are ready. Take a breath, try and collect your thoughts. As much as you want to hurl the memory of the experience from you, you hold it fast, because you know it's important to remember it. It was you in that experience. It was Deionarra's experience, but because it was you, your memories flooded you and you could feel both sides at once. Who were you? Who was that shade of you? Damn. That was fucking good writing. Like, that was just wow. You know, part of this is that I'm playing someone who's meant to be a good person, right? I don't know exactly if we'll ever be lawful good, but we're definitely good. And we're gonna stick in the good column. And so seeing that the past version of us was just gaslighting this poor woman, that was rough. Okay, let's not actually go and look at the last one, because if it's as meaningful, yeah, I just don't want to look at it just yet. Instead, let's go back to the Advocate.
Alright.
And eat crow, but actually go get that legacy, because we're gonna need it. But, oh boy, that was something. I just wish I liked the gameplay of this game more, because the writing is fantastic, the role-playing aspects are great. I just don't enjoy the D&D. At least I feel like I was not given enough freedom to create someone to make the combat fun for. Greetings, Ioannis. I had some questions. Ioannis, there's a sensory stone in the sensorium that contains a fragment of your daughter's experiences. His eyes blaze with hope. There is? But in which one? You must tell me. It is one of the sensate sensory stones. If you're not a sensate, you cannot gain access. Thinks for a moment. I must find a way. Perhaps it would make an exception for her father. If you wanted, I could speak to someone. I'm certain they would make an exception in your case.
Updated my journal.
If you could, I would be most grateful. I will go settle the matter shortly. Now, the sensory stone should lift a legacy for me. Why would... Ioannis seems at a loss for word. Who are you, sir, that my daughter would have left a legacy for you? I'm not certain. I found the number in the sensory stone in the Festhall I told you about. It was intended for me. Ioannis is studying your features intently. You do seem familiar somehow. Perhaps if you got the legacy, it might answer some questions for us both. Of course, of course. Hold a moment and shall return presently.
Updated my journal.
All the articles are accounted for. Ioannis is holding 3 skulls in his hands. I had no idea she established a legacy here. He's staring at the items, almost hypnotized. Here you are. If I may I read them, sir? Let me read them first, and I shall decide. Of course, Ioannis seems broken. But please, I beg you, I have very little left to remember my daughter by. I will just say, I shall not forget and will return after I've read them. My love, If you're reading this, then the tragedy I have seen has come to pass. I have died and you have remained to suffer the loss. Know this, my love. I know why you were forced to shield your feelings from me. You sought to protect me from the terrible burden you carry with you. The distance you kept between us was your way of protecting me, and the brief moments when we were alone and you let your feelings be known, that was when I knew you cared for me. Carry no regrets with you, carry no guilt, for I came with you on your haunted journey of my own accord, and no matter how death came to me, I know that you did everything in your power to save me. Our lives are intertwined, my love, and our death shall not be a wall between us. For my sight has seen what is to come, only in staccato segments, but it is enough for me to know that we will be separated for a time, but we shall be reconciled again. Thus, do not see my death as a farewell, but only as an interval before we meet again. Carry my ring with you, and these other pieces of me, and think of me. Keep me in your mind and my heart, and that will be the beacon that brings us together. Forever, Deionarra. Okay, let me pass this on to you. This ever ring was part of Deionarra's legacy. It radiates a slight glow, and though it is cold to the touch, the chill is strangely comforting. The ivory band stretches to fit the width of any finger. Among the many secrets of the Society of Sensation is the ability to shape a peculiar stone from Elysium, the Soul Stone. While this stone is not as powerful as the sensory stones, the Soul Stone is said to carry an imprint of the shaper's feelings. These rings are often used in sunset marriage ceremonies, each ring inscribed with the feelings of the other. This ring was obviously intended for you. When wearing Deionarra's ring, you gain an added protection from all attacks, additional well, okay, yeah. Yeah, just wear this one. This is just a healing scroll, part of Deionarra's legacy. Alright. And I think that was it, right? So let me first go to the sensates to make sure that I can actually give him access to stuff. But yeah, man, that soul stone, or whatever they call it, the recalling stone, that was rough. Here's a man, Ayanus, who was hoping you would grant temporary access to the private sensorium. And for what reason would we allow such a thing? Because one of the stones there contains a fragment of his daughter's experiences. She died far from home, not having seen him in a long while, and he mourns her loss.
Updated my journal.
Splinter nods, thinks for a moment, then nods again. Yes, we shall allow this Ayanus to enter the private sensorium. Well escorted, of course. You may tell him he has permission.
All right.
I don't know if this helps me in the long run, because we probably need to just keep looking in the brothel. There's something there, I would guess. But I don't know how I could prove to the prostitute that she's actually Ravel's daughter. But
done. One
thing at a time. Yes, they agreed to give you access to your daughter's sensory stone. I thank you, good sir. Thank you. I'm in your debt. It was no trouble, Yanis. Please go see the experience of your daughter. I think they might ease your troubles.
Updated my journal.
Here's Deionarra's legacy as promised. Ionis takes the scroll and studies it. There's a long silence and he slowly looks up to you. You meant very much to my daughter. She was willing to give up your life for you. I believe that is the case.
Updated my journal.
Ionis hands the scrolls back to you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your kindness. I mourn the loss of your daughter. I hope her words give you some comfort. Farewell. Alright, like, there's clearly a thief in the thing, right? Maybe if I just go check out the rooms more carefully. Also, maybe we should just talk to the madam that's traveling with me. I wonder if that would do something.
Yes?
No, that's not how I do it. Dialogue with you.
Yes.
Nah, we're good.
Done.
Kimask C says someone's been taking things from her room too. Have you seen anything odd?
Updated my journal.
Then his eyes suddenly go wide. Oh, that's right. You know, once I saw a man sneaking out of Kimax's room while she was out talking to a patron. I watched the front door all day that day, but he never ever left. Isn't that odd? I don't think he could have made it out of the window, as I never figured out where he went. Then I totally forgot about it. Weird, huh? Here's a game. She's not great at doing things. Oh, sorry, give me a second. Say, Sarah's, do you have anything? No. That's Juliet. You know anything about the scent? Talked to her about it already. Oh! Oh ho! Secret door! Greetings, sir. The man turns to fall to Grace. And greetings, Mistress Grace. Rest assured, I'll keep the lady's sensory stones in order while you're away. The man turns back to you. If you'll excuse me, several things I need to tend to. Farewell, sir.
I'm gone.
The grayish-white stone held in a mesh of engraved silver bands pulses with light. Something was once inscribed into its base, but the writing has been scored away.
Updated my journal.
What did you update your journal with? This is Juliet. This is Nanny. This is Echo. We're gonna find your stone. Vivian. Marisa. Based on the room order, this should be hers here. Kisai Ceres. Can I not interact with it? Laura. And this is, of course, the Addertongue. This is Eve. Oh, okay. What am I supposed to do with these? Why can I not commune with it? But now that we found all of these, let's go talk to people upstairs, I guess. Maybe, hopefully.
Done.
That might do something. No, that doesn't do it.
Aye? Right.
Chief. Is there a detect doors or something like that? I'm sure that that room below is important, but I don't understand what it's about. Chief, silver bracelet. And it doesn't look like we can ask about this supposed man. Finding having a thief who can lockpick is very nice, I have to admit. Wait.
I'm gone.
As you make the search the armoire, its handle suddenly yank out of your grasp as the drawer slammed himself shut. His disdainful issues from the cabinet. Hello? Hello indeed, Deionarra gives another So what are we here? A rogue after some lady's frilly undergarments? You talk? Do I? Why, yes, I do. Who are you? I'm Luis, and who are you? Helpless and could follow rummaging about in other people's things. Never mind that, what are you doing here? Well, sir, if you must know, I am being an armoire. But why are you being an armoire in this brothel? I happen to have become an armoire because I want to be an armoire, thank you very much. It is not to watch ladies undressing, nor to have them paste their soft, sweet-smelling undergarments in my drawers where they can rub against my skin. Such accusations are an insult to a practitioner of the magic arts. I am merely soaking in the experience of what it means to be an armoire, besides the smell, the sensation. So all the women know about this, then? Yes, they do, and they wholeheartedly approve of. Well, not with their entire hearts, exactly. And while they have not spoken of their approval in my presence, since they are not exactly aware that I am an armoire, I would not want them to know that I am anything but, and so I have not been able to inquire upon the matter. I'll need something from you to keep quiet about this one. Very well, Posh, open the third drawer, you scalawag. As you reach your hands into the drawer, it slams shut on your finger with great force. Searing pain races through your hand as you withdraw your battered fingers. Ha! Cretin, idiot! Open the drawer, I said, and you reached in. He slams his drawer again for emphasis, then begins shaking with laughter. I'm gonna trap you for kindling. You'll do nothing of the sort. Why, even the most common of men knows that one can commit an act of violence within the brothel. You'll simply be cast out. And if it were not the case, I assure you my command of the art is quite impressive. Fine then, I'll just go tell them about you. First I would tell you this one thing. I have been popping in and out of the brothel for a good long time. I'm quite knowledgeable regarding both its occupants and their activities. I assure you that talking about me is utterly worthless. Not only will you lose me as a potential source of information, but I'll simply disappear before someone comes to investigate your claims, leaving you looking the fool. Nini told me she saw me living in Kimasi at her tongue's room. I think that was you, Luis. You think? Think? How could you be so alarmingly rude, so ridiculously presumptuous as to spout forth such an accusation without being absolutely certain of your charges? How dare you? Impertinent, brassy cur. Why, I ought to. As Luis rails and curses, his drawers open and close, you notice a small bundle of crimson cloth tucked alongside some clothes. The repeated opening and closing of the armoire drawers make it difficult to grab, however. Make a try. Pull open the drawer. Pull open the drawer. Keep going. No, huh? Give me the crimson cloth, Luis. Shan't, won't, never. Beg and whine. Beg and whine some more. Keep on begging and whining. The armoire yawns, exposing the crimson cloth where it rests snugly beside some undergarments. You dart your hand in and seize it before the drawer can close itself. Tucking it away, you notice that it is perfumed with a light, exotic, and most pleasant fragrance. Damn it, you rogue, blackguard, scoundrel! You give that back this instant! That is not yours. This is an exceedingly personal garment that belongs to a lady of this establishment, and they would not appreciate you fondling their private things. Oh, but it's right for you, you wooden pervert. I'm not doing anything so criminal as malicious as you are, and merely soaking in sensations necessary to my growth as an individual. Yes, farewell, Luis. Alright, so... Where is Vivian? Well, let's go to Marisa first. Actually, I've brought your Crimson Veil. I need something in return first. Nah.
Updated my journal.
Ah, yes, much better. Two shining points of red light appear before you as she opens her eyes. So that's what you look like. Perhaps I would have been better off with my eyes shut. I heard that KSI Sears is Revel's daughter. Is that true? I do not know, but I for one would not be surprised. For Hera's sake, look at the girl. That's Juliet though, okay.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
In a way, I believe it was Marissa's last veil which I returned to her. She has your scent.
Updated my journal.
For the briefest of moments, Vivian's eyes smolder with rage. She does she? We shall see about that. Do not move, I shall return shortly. There, that solves it. That hideous witch, always stealing my perfumes, but never did I think she would have the audacity to steal my own personal scent. She suddenly shakes out her crimson hair, and in moments you are surrounded by the most intensely exotic and arousing scent you have ever had the pleasure of smelling. That smells great. It does it not? Well, I suppose you shall be wanting your reward now. Stand closer to me, scarred one. You step closer to Vivian. She takes your hand and turning it over, takes a single cautious sniff for your wrist. Phew! She wrinkles her nose. Vinegar, or embalming fluid? Here, we'll remove the smell from you. She mutters a few strange syllables and a light tingling sensation spread over her skin. In moments, your chemical reek less than substantial. There, how is that? People should be less eager to hold conversation with you now. Hey, +1 charisma. How the heck do I... Let's to the armoire again. Oh, it's not gonna speak to me anymore. Oh. Alright. I think we're gonna call it here for today. Like, I don't understand what we could do if for some reason we can commune with the stones that are underneath. But at the same time, you know, sometimes it might just be like there's 2 or 3 triggers that we have been missing. Right? I had that freaking thing forever, and I thought I could just stick this in Echo's mouth for the longest time. They were not gonna let you do that until the Laura was taken care of in the first place, right? And it's stupid, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I'm not sure how we're gonna go about doing that. We might, like, move around for another half hour or so. And if we still can't figure it out, then I might just call it and look it up. Because, you know, sometimes, like, eventually I would have probably gone to the art gallery and looked at every painting again and found the Styx one. But the odds of that happening were probably very low, and it makes for not great content, I think, while I'm just blindly, literally trying to talk to everything that moves. But maybe it's worth going back down to the lower ward and see what's up there. I don't know. Regardless, for now, let's just save. Oh, I guess I cannot rename it. I'll just rename it Ravel's Daughter. Alright, and make a save. Alright, that's gonna do it for us today here on Retro Games with Nick. Let me pull up the calendar. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. Let me know of your personal experience playing through Planescape Torment. And I'm sure yell at me for all the things that I'm doing wrong and the way that I'm not understanding the combat. That's fine. It's part of what this engagement is, of course. Plenty of stuff happening on the channel. Of course, Life of Timmy is my pride and joy. I put so much work into that series. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. We have, sorry, looking at the schedule again. Blood Omen Legacy of Kain continuing next week. We have a new classical studies premiering in 2 weeks. That is a one episode complete playthrough. I'm not gonna say much except to keep it mysterious. Terra Enigma will be back in 3 weeks with part 4 of its playthrough, and then Planescape Torment will return in 4 weeks. In the meantime, make sure to check out the 60 minutes episode for the PSM #1, premiering starting next week, and then 2 weeks after that. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to engage with as much or a little else content as you find interesting. I'm just really enjoying playing through these old games of various kinds. The Planescape Torment playthrough is maybe getting a bit long in the tooth, but at the same time, I still greatly enjoy playing through it effectively. Like, that scene... Oh, you know what? That's probably where we're going to start next time. We're going to go and look at the last orb in that the private sensorium thing and see if that leads us anywhere. But, man, the Deionarra orb, that was... I don't know it was necessarily useful for the long-term plot, but, man, that was some freaking good writing. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us today. This is Nick, signing off, reminding everyone to let's keep retro playing together.